Hello everyone, we are here, Games XP Championship. We've got the semi-finals here for you. We've got the Purple Cobras and Schism Esports looking to go at it in a best of 5 in the semi-final clash. Got a little bit of, a different display for you guys this time around because Riot had to throw up some spectator issues. So, we're adapting to what we've got. So we've got, the champ select here for you. So you can see the champions that are going into this game before we actually get into the game. We, of course, have the data here to show you. But as far as everyone here, I'm SKZ, and I'm joined today by my boy Trick.
Everyone.
If you're seeing the same things I'm seeing, I see a lot of what I expected to see on both sides. Even looking at the bans, looking down the list of picks, I don't really think there's a whole lot of surprises here, really.
Yeah, it seems we have a lot of 1-3-1 going on inside of Schism, where we have a bit more of a team fight comp coming out of Purple Cobra.
Definitely seeing especially the comfort picks coming out from both sides. Steve Nader wanting to flourish the Akali again. I really wish I'd gotten to see, the pick order to see, how things had come through, but I imagine the Akali was pretty heavy priority. You saw the Kindred Morgana Urgot ban came through first end on Purple Cobra as the Cho'Gath Veigar Ahri on the side. A little targeted towards Friction, but ending up with him on the Lux. But we see Friction on Kayn again, Cinco getting Scion, Tomato on Ezreal. They're all champions they're extremely happy to have on their side. And seeing Tej on Tristana will be interesting. I know we saw a couple performances from Harmony when he was part of Schism there, and I don't think we've seen Tej's Tristana yet. So seeing how that performs will be interesting to say the least. And No Excuse taking up the aggro role with Nocturne as they take away the Kindred, with Goose, previously Gowie on Shen in the top lane.
We're assuming that's the Shen top lane. But
right. I think that we got sent it a couple seconds before the finish there because I do believe, peeping at my game, we do see a Shen in the top lane.
That is correct.
But as much as I love to see Nocturne top, Shen jungle. But any other thoughts we have going in here?
Well, I think looking at the drafts, this is going to depend a lot on how the early pathing.
It's going to depend a lot on the early pathing, I agree. We'll be looking for No Excuse to see if he can bring out a lot more of that aggression that we saw in the Kindred pick and see if that translates to the Nocturne. If he's going to look for the very proactive plays against Friction, who, especially on Kayn, has been known to be a very early seeking aggressive jungler. So we'll see how that jungle matchup will work out for this pair. And oh no, I believe my man of arms has fallen to the void, but that will not, hopefully not, persist here. But I don't know. I'm looking for a lot in the mid lane. I think Friction being pulled away from the Ahri and Veigar and not having... I think it's interesting he went for the Lux over Syndra. Having Syndra open and being a champion that he's picked, I mean, it's probably his third most picked throughout this league. So not seeing him on the Syndra and seeing him on the Lux is an interesting choice. I feel like Lux has a lot more abusable weaknesses in lane that Steven Air will maybe be looking to capitalize on with the Akali. So I think that watching mid lane will be interesting on Purple Cobra's side. And otherwise, we'll see the typical tanky noodles in the top lane. And then a lot of it going to be in the bottom lane. We're going to see how Backpack decides to respond to Desolate aggression in these early plays. And I've just received word from the Void that my boy Trick has been attacked by a cat. And he will be returning to us soon. So fret not, people. But I believe... I'm quite familiar with, being ganked by cats. But we will return here very shortly, I believe. If you're going to put it on me, because I was going to put it on Trick, but I guess I'll take the helm here. And if you're going to ask who I want to give this draft to, I very much like the draft of Schism, honestly. I think that you can definitely see the sort of the forward aggression that Stevenator and No Excuse are looking to put forward. No Excuse really looking to show that he is a centerfold part of this team, especially in the jungle role, looking to be a lot more proactive this game. And Steve Nader has put out several good performances on Akali, and seeing that pick open for him to pick up is very, I wouldn't say confusing to me, but very interesting to me, and a lot of confidence on Purple Cobra's side. But as far as the straight up draft go, I think if Schism is able to pull ahead in the lane phase or even stay even, going forward, I think they have, a decent outlook. But of course, it's never a great idea to count out the Purple Cobras. They've always been ones to be the very good lane scrappers and come out on top and, just snowball lead from very early on. So would not be surprised to see that as well. I think if you just look at a straight draft on paper, I think that Schism pulls a little bit ahead here. But we will see how this goes. And I believe that once I pull my caster in arms here, we will be getting into game 1. So we are going to take a short break from our sponsors. And make sure you guys get your votes in here for Schism Esports. Just kidding. Everything I just said is wrong. Ignore everything I just said. Not the part about the ad break then. Catch you guys for game 1.
I'm Borseth, and I own and operate Games XP in Decorah, Iowa. Games XP is a geek paradise. We carry everything from Pong and Atari all the way to Xbox One and PS4, and all the games that would go with those consoles as well. We also carry a ton of movies. We have handheld games. We have Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon. We have D&D and Pathfinder. We carry Warhammer 40K. We have a vintage Star Wars selection. This place is great. My wife and I have had 6 kids, and they are so much fun to work with here at the store. They run the store as much as I do.
And we now repair cell phones, game consoles, computers, and small electronics.
Our store is instant fun. Not only is there cool music and cool stuff to look at, but we have a game room that is so much fun. It's free to play, and you just plug in your game system and enjoy life. The Game XP motto is bringing joy to people's lives through our products, people, and a place to play. So you have got to come to Decorah, Iowa, and check out Games XP and experience this geek gaming paradise.
And we are here, game 1 of Games XP Championship semi-final match. Purple Cobras, Schism Esports 0-0, best of 5. Let's see what everyone's got going on. Looks like pretty standard on one side, less standard on the other. Run me
They're
through.
going to a bottom side invade, or they're doing a 5-point on the side of the purple Cobras. Or excuse me.
The good old Scion Q of Death. I don't think anyone's going to fall for this.
Looks maybe they're just trying to group up against a potential phase check, but does not look like that's going to happen this time around.
Yeah, I would say we've seen it quite a few times in this league. Just some pretty careless face checks, I would dare to say, into some pretty bad skills. And avoiding that on either side is definitely going to be important here, especially for that game 1 momentum.
For sure. Right. They have the information that the Rakan's there alone, or it seems to be anyway. I was just trying to throw some safe cues, trying to pill a little bit of gold on it. But to no avail so far. Oh, I got a potion. Yep.
Yeah, just a lot of feeling out for the first one. And we see the... I guess I didn't say much about the summoner spells. They're like pretty standard across the board. You see the barrier on the side of Frisian to the Ignitus Stevenator.
Pretty standard so far. So from what we see coming in this top side, just going to be a lot of trading back and forth for Scion being Corrupting Potion. We'll just eventually poke Shen out, at least early on. Just fighting now.
Lots of just... This is what I like to see. Love to see a little bit of fighting across the board. You said trying to bring a lot back to Scion Gazer. Of course, both just trading grass procs there.
Already down 2 charges for Synchro Gazer though. Shen level 2 first. But the junglers are pathing towards the bottom side, so he won't see much there.
I feel like the Lux was an interesting pick here because I feel like a lot of Akali's kit gives her just enough of that inherent sustain to really shrug off a lot of that incoming Lux harass, where she's spending a lot more mana as a resource to try to keep Akali away.
Yeah, I think it's going to be less about the fact that it's the Lux into the Akali, and more so it's just more of a slimmer champion pool on the side of Frisian, which is one of his lower tier picks he still plays. Especially with the pinch out they had in the draft. That we didn't see too much of, sadly.
Yeah, as I was talking about a little bit before. Ooh, we see the taunt come through. Friction's on the back end, though. They catch up Goose Daddy on the back. Goose is trying to find a place to flash. Flash over, but gets slowed by the Scion. They go for the W. They go for the knockout of the Q, and the first blood goes to Friction. Very quick find up in the top lane.
That's a really good start going for the Kane. He's going to help him scale up to his, I'm assuming, red form. If we see blue form, this could be a bit of a spicy game. Unlikely.
Yeah. A lot of damage coming from Frisian here. Putting back on the Stevenator.
With the first back, before the first back with Akali, it's mostly about surviving the lane and getting as much farm as possible. Yeah, especially with the Lux, you can just kind of, shield through all your burst.
Hook goes through and Tej is 2 minute farm, finds a knock from backpack, but they're both going to back off there.
We do see there's going to at least soon be a small camp lead on the side for the Nocturne, where all his camps are still kind of up, where he's already up a little bit of farm. Or even at this point, or Kane is the one camp. Is he backed yet? He is not backed yet, so the Kane will be sitting on probably around 1200 gold by now. With the first blood gold in his pocket.
Sitting on roughly the amount to get us started. He's going to buy the Chilling Smite there and a pair of longswords right off the bat. Nice little damage boost there. Going for the blue. I feel like you see the red a lot more on Red Kane. Maybe I'm not as familiar with the jungle pathing, but I feel like if you see the blue, I feel like the color. Oh, we see the hook come through on a Tej. Tomato Farmer trying to slide away from Backpack to try to put some more damage on a Tej, but Backpack's going to get hooked up here. Going to get snared with the Nautilus passive. Finds a lot of damage off the back of Tomato Farm, but doesn't have the mana to follow up. And they're going to back out of there. Not on the good end of that trade.
It's a really big trade for the Ezreal early, being able to push the Tristana off the way. Where, sure, Ezreal's even stronger now with his 1-3 kind of split. But after we see the first back, we'll see Tristana start taking over this lane a bit more. Assuming Kane doesn't get a big gank off.
Ooh, the hook comes through with a buffer jump from Tej, gets away from it, not enough to get out of the auto attack. The heal comes through, Backpack finds the knockup on 2, gets hooked up afterwards. Not enough
really
damage
well
taken
played
out.
by Desolate Earth.
Oh, Friction's on the side. Putting poke down on Backpack, but Kane's not going to go for it here.
Yeah, this, in the end, this is still a level 5 Kane. Takes 2 tower shots and dies.
Right.
No ult, hard to dive that one.
I see them fishing around the side for it. You'll see Nocturne clear the ward off in the tri-bush. Yeah, both of these champions really heavy on the power of level 6 put into their ganks. Off the ultimate, of course, Nocturne with the initiate, and Kane with the follow-through.
It'll be really interesting to see who gets the first big gank off when it comes to those level 6. If Nocturne can look to find something like a double kill at the bot lane to transition into maybe an early dragon for some more macro play going into what would you assume to be a bit of a dive siege comp coming out of Schism.
Mm-hmm.
Where they also have, you know, the globals to try and shut down the Scion split push later on. Yeah, I definitely like Schism's comp here. The Kali pick's a little awkward, but that gives them a split push threat.
Stevenator's going to go in on Friction, drops the ignite on him, hasn't used the barrier, and actually takes another tower shot after the snare, and Friction's going to find the kill on the Stevenator.
That is so bad for the Akali this early. It's going to lose all lane pressure. And Lux is going to be able to outpush him in roam.
Maybe underestimated the amount of mana that Friction had left there, just having enough for the snare to catch him there under tower and picking him off.
So it'll be interesting to see if this Lux goes for more of a Luden's Echo type of rush. I assume so. It looks like we are. So as this goes on towards the level 6, as we're hitting now, we could see a pretty big dive come into this Lux in the mid lane with an Nocturne push on all to try and blow the map open early. Assuming they look for that kind of play.
Yeah, it's definitely something, especially if you want to be this far behind this type of composition, you really have to say, well, we have our buttons, it's time to spend them. Backpack goes in for the knockup, here comes the Nocturne ultimate, but everyone's there! Friction actually takes that Backpack before he can even find the follow-up! And Nocturne's not even going to be able to come in.
Yes, it turns out he is Rakan and not Nautilus to tank all that damage.
Not as tanky as you want to be there. Speaking of tanky in the top lane, Goose Daddy trying to find a couple taunts down on a Cinco Gazer. Getting the damage too, but Cinco returning that Scion Q, just putting out a crazy amount of damage back onto the Shen with only the health built, no armor. The base damage of that skill really shining through.
So with the Nocturne ult being down for another roughly 100 seconds or so, so a minute and a half, it'll be interesting to see what Frisian tries to do. Maybe try taking away some more camps with the counter jungle, as he does have the early lead. But we do see Nocturne go for the challenging smite here. It's a little bit more dueling power.
Yeah, so you just see a lot of the same play. This top lane is just a lot of being shoved in here. Just the the overwhelming power of that Scion, and Cinco's been sitting on a pretty consistent. Oh, no excuses here. We find the taunt off with Goose there. He's gonna go for the flash ultimate to completely get away from the tether there, not wanting to deal with it, and immediately walks right back up after the pair, knowing the Nocturne ultimate is not available, so he doesn't have much to be worried about.
And Shen took a pretty large chunk there as it was, so they couldn't really refight that. Scion would take a 1-for-1 at least in that trade. Another big thing to point out with that bot lane trade with the Rakan death is with Frisian picking up that kill, his Red King gets charged even faster. So we could be looking at like an 11-minute Red King with his pace.
Right. Oh, the flash W ultimate from Backpack. They catch up. Frisian tries to flash away, tries to find the stun, finds the snare onto Akali, but he's going to get out of that snare and go back in there. Finds the kill onto Frisian. But Friction's going to go for the flash. The auto attack finds the kill, return on the Backpack. And that's the 1-for-1 in the minute, but no excuses in the middle of the action now. Trying to get on Friction. Single Gazer in the meantime. Goose Daddy is going to try to flash in front of Single Gazer, trying to find the auto attack. Finds the 1-2. Tries to find the third. He should have it. Finds the third auto attack, and Goose takes the kill off on Cinco Gazer in the top lane. A nice pair of kills across the map for the Schism crew.
Who knew Synchro games were playing Instinct Scion?
I've heard it's gotten pretty popular.
For sure. Synchro, I meant.
But that was a very nice play in the mid lane from Backpack, finding that really long engage from the Rakan kit.
Yeah, for sure. I expected more of a global play to go in there with like a Nocturne ult, but I guess if Rakan can do it himself, why not, right?
Okay.
Should be a pretty free dragon, because there's no jungle to spawn as he's topside.
Yes, because sitting on just the deficit, of course, mostly from the top and jungle. We see Cinco only about 400 gold ahead. Off the CS lead, we see, of course, in the jungle, Friction is sitting in about a 1k lead over No Excuse off of the back of those 3 kills. Put a lot of greedy money in his own pocket there. But everything else looks relatively the same. As we just kind of see a mounting lead in the side of Purple Cobras there, but Schism making sure they're responding in turn by, finding these objectives. Cloud Drake not extremely important, but, it'll add up later if this game gets dragged to an Elder Dragon or something crazy.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to definitely help with their rotational play, too. It'll help them collapse better on the Scion, who will attempt to try and take some extra towers down the side lanes as time goes on. But, oh,
he's finding another taunt on a Cinco. A couple more tower shots there off the back of the Scion taunt there. He's really just trying to put some damage on this tower, but of course he has
always coming.
Sniffs it out, and he's not going to let it happen.
No, this tower is really low on the side of SKZ.
Ooh, Friction finds Stevenator on the side. Gets snared up by the Lux, but as the Shen ultimate, the Nocturne ultimate comes through off the back of Friction's ult, finds the stopwatch on himself to lock him up there. But Stevenator is going to slide back in there, takes the kill down on Friction, but Friction gets inside the Akali, goes through for the kill. The kill goes out on Single Gazer. It's up to Friction now, but he's going to go down as well, and that's a double kill going over Stevenator before they fall. Backpack in the meantime is going to find the kill, going to find the knockup on the Tomato Farmer. Tomato Farmer is going to get back out there. TJ has to get out. Desolate Earth is in the front, finds the hook on the Backpack. He might go down here. The Riptide's going to take him out, and Desolate Earth finds a kill of his own. And Cheech barely escapes in the bot lane.
What are they doing there? That's just... You don't engage on a Nautilus Ezreal in this kind of scenario. Like, the Ezreal's even up in items at this point. A BF sword isn't going to match up to the non-armor. Or, I mean, immune even that point.
Hook not going to find there, but they are going to put a lot of damage down on this tower, as we see Schism retreat from top and mid lane there. Of course, a questionably not great play preceded by a decently constructed play on the side of Schism as they find the shutdown gold onto Friction going over to, I believe that went to Goose, actually.
Onto who, sorry?
Onto Shen, I want to say? Oh, but in the meantime, we see the hook come through. Desolate Earth almost going down, but Tomato Farm whiffing the Ezreal, but here comes Stevenator. Tease jumps in, and they don't find the return kill. Stevenator picking up the kill on Tomato Farmer.
And suddenly Akali is back in the game.
Yeah.
Off the last play.
By the way, this is an assassin.
Well, they have a split push threat now, but it is a Scion he's going to be splitting against, if anything.
Friction tries to find some damage on Stevenator, goes into the Shroud. Friction finding the Q for damage, gets inside the Akali. Waits it out in the Shroud, but he might go down. Finds the Q in return and turns and takes back the shutdown money. Stevenator going down to Friction.
That is one big can.
Oh my lord. Single Gazer is forcing minions into this tower.
I'm a little surprised we didn't see the Kayn stay bot to try and force into the bottom lane tower, as it was really low. It's like one hit. I suppose they'll try and come back around for another play afterwards then.
Yeah, I say it's really tough resistance for all 3 lanes on this side here of Schism. All 3 outer towers really close to going down here. Of course, Single Gazer is going to get taunted up here. Might just go for the tower. No, he's going to end up walking away there.
Slowly but surely, all of these towers are just going to be drained down. Unless there's going to be a play looking... Yeah, Nocturne's looking for a play top, it seems, by ping.
Yeah, this Single Gazer this slow. The taunt doesn't land from Goose Daddy, but here comes the Nocturne ultimate. Ooh, blocks the Scion ultimate, but it's enough to get the knock up there. Goose finds the flash. dodges out the Scion Q in return. Basingo is going to walk out of there alive. At the same time, we see the hook come through onto the Rakan. The Nautilus ultimate after the Ezreal ultimate. Backpack is going to survive here. But he's going to go for the tower, and they find the first blood tower in the middle of the fight. But Teach takes the kill on the Tomato Farmer in return. And that's going to be a solid kill of money onto him. Friction is trying to look around there. Has the Ross now. Not going to find a kill of his own. So trading that first blood tower gold for his own life is going to be a Tomato Farmer here.
I'm going to have to give that in favor to Tomato Farmer, though. He did get the first blood tower. Sure, Backpack might have punished him for it, quote-unquote, but he did. That's a lot of gold for the Ezreal.
Right.
Help get him towards the Sheen, and he is going towards that gauntlet this game. He is definitely respecting the dive that Schism does have.
Stevenator going in, but finding the
Ooh.
finding the bad end of the Lux Snare ult. Kane W Q not even needing the ultimate in. Stevenator drops.
They're seeing a lane swap here.
Ooh, Friction's looking for more. They find the tower. Finds a double knockup. Friction's inside
Shen
Backpack and tries to get out of there. But the Shen ultimate looking for more. This is 3v3 here. The Shen W is down, but they're going to find the Ignite on him and they're going to walk out.
The Dissuasion Ignite coming out of Desolator.
The You're on Fire getaway. At the same time, we do see now Purple Cobra is pulling ahead. You know, they pulled the two towers now, and the top tower is going to go down very quickly. As you Tomato Farmer poking that down there, and there's 3. So all outers down on the side of Purple Cobras. They've opened up a lot of the map for themselves. And whoa, there's the Nocturne ultimate. After the Sonic jump, Tomato Farmer doesn't find the jump after the Nocturne ultimate, and he is going to get flashed up, and he is done for.
I don't know if that time was quite worth for Tomato Farm to stay around.
Not quite.
Well, I guess I do get an air drag in his consolation.
I'll take good Cloud Drake for Cloud Drake. Match some other guys' moves. But you do see at the same time, it is pretty monstrous looking on the side of Friction. 6-1 now on this Ross Kane. He is going to be very beefy and very prominent in these fights. And very hard for even somebody like Stevenator to take down. So he's going to be quite a menace in these upcoming fights.
Yeah, as slowly as this game has been going, and this does seem like a slow snowball coming out of the Purple Cobra side, it's going to be very hard for Nikali to be assassinating these targets that are able to get the defensive items this quick, like the Gauntlet did for the Ezreal. And assumably, Lux will be going towards the Zanya, unless they get a little greedy and go with Morello here. But you can't underestimate the team fighting prowess out of Schism here.
Yeah,
so
so once
have
we
to really good engage.
Let's see the Tristana come online, and you know, having that ability to have the Rakan, Shen, Nocturne engage, and the Akali, you know, creating chaos in the center of the Cobra squad. Getting to Tristana, you know, will eventually get to a point where it's kind of a second thought on the side of Purple Cobras because they have so much in their faces to deal with. The Scion Q stopping the Shen top, but Backpack's gonna go in there, tries to find something up, charms to blow up, there comes Nocturne! The Lux ultimate's on the back, they're trying to get more in, look, Jeez jumps in, Stevenator finds the kill on the Friction, but it's not enough. Friction is a monster here, finds a double kill, Stevenator trying to find him, he's got a triple kill, he comes out of Stevenator, that's a quadra kill for Friction! And they find the Rift Herald.
But was it worth it, Tej? Jumping into everybody on Purple Cobra. Oh.
I don't think so.
You have the range to hit them over the wall there. You don't need to jump in.
Yeah, this is gonna be a lot of damage dealt off the back of that. I don't even want to hit X and see how much money that is. 2,100 gold sitting in Friction's pocket. That is gonna just send him a whole item ahead. Friction's looking for backpack now.
On no excuse.
Lord.
That is a lot of gold for a jungle advantage.
I don't... Whew. There's no excuse to give this man Kane next game, I'm gonna say. But...
Nice pun.
On that note, we are seeing a... Oh my lord, damage to the QW on backpack. Absolutely too much.
Just a poor little squishy Rakan.
Ugh. So, the gold lead now extended to about 8k on the side of Purple Cobras here at the 20-minute mark. They've come up with Rift Herald, they've equalized the dragons, they're up 6-0 in towers. Schism base is not quite in shambles, but it's very... They're definitely in damage control right now.
The crack is definitely visible. A little odd pickup here coming out of Friction, though. He has picked up a Tiamat on the King. I guess that's one way to say you're just that ahead, you can build what you want.
Right. This is my money and I'll spend it how I want to.
This poor Nocturne having to invest in a Hex Drinker this early, as opposed to a Guardian Angel. Or some other assassination item like a Duskblade or such.
Oh, Backpack looking for the Flash W ultimate, but that's not enough. The Lux ultimate comes through, but Stevenator finds a kill on Tomato Farm. That's a good start to the fight, but at the same time, Stevenator is trying to deal with Friction on the side. In the smoke, but Friction pops the E. Friction is absolutely monstrous in this fight. Nobody can stop him. Goes for the ultimate to Goose, pulled out by the Nocturne, and Cinco is going to find the kill on Backpack in the back as Friction finds the forward kill onto Goose. That is a clean 3-for-1 on the side of Purple Cobras. Just more blood spilled right in front of Rust.
Teej tried jumping in again and got hit by a Lux Q, and that alone, and it did 65% of his health.
Yeah.
That is just not
a lot of magic resistance in your kit, my friend, and that is going to pop you for the duration of this fight.
I take back what I said before about Lux needing to go like Zanya second to be able to survive. Their team doesn't need defensive ends anymore, right?
Yeah, I would say, especially with the threat level of the Lux versus the critical threat level of the Kayn, where we just saw Kayn in the middle of 3 people and not particularly concerned about any of them. I guess the Titanic Hydra did everything you needed to do with it. And we now are seeing our Purple Cobras are on the Baron.
Do you see an answer coming out? Can they do anything here?
Backpacks didn't get rooted by oh my lord, the Lux ultimate. Woo, the slide in comes through, but Goose isn't going to be able to do anything. Friction finds the Baron. They're looking for the fighter. Stevenator is trying to do something on the side. Friction's trying to find him. Stevenator slides into the back, trying to pick off Tomato Farmer, but he's going to get out of there and disappears in the center of the fight as Friction finds the knockup. Goose going to go down next. T's trying to find the jump off the back as they find the kill into Backpack, and I believe this is going to be Purple Cobras. Oh, here comes the Righteous Glory. Teej, oh my lord, the Nihilus ultimate. He's gonna find the knockup and the hook comes through.
He has flash. He had flash.
Oh no. And there's Cinco with the Shout of Triumph as he goes to the base. Nocturne ultimate makes things a little spooky. And I believe Purple Cobras are going to take game 1.
Yep, that's about it. Back to the drawing board for Schism going into this next match, that's for sure.
I want to say what didn't work for Schism, and then I'm just staring at the 11-1 Kayn, and I'm just like, I know what worked for Purple Cobras, but I mean, even if you look across the board, I think they were just, you know, Stevenator getting solo killed by Friction in the mid lane when he greeted for the level 6 kill, you know, going under the tower, maybe mismanaging a bit of Lux's mana, thinking she didn't have any mana for any of her spells, and then getting snared under tower. Just minor miscalculations like that really led to early downfall of Schism. And then Friction absolutely finding the crazy plays, you know, the first blood into, you know, the skirmish that got him 2 kills. He was 3-0 very early in the game and just got so far ahead on the Kayn that really nobody was able to put a stop to him.
Yeah. As pointed out kind of in Twitch chat here, the Imagine Zero Gangs 69 on the Lux. That's what I was trying to say early on in the game. The Nocturne just didn't show up in the mid lane with the Shen Globe and could have just tried to blow this mid lane open. No, only Rakan showed up.
Yeah,
so it wasn't repeating it either.
It was unfortunate because the very first thing we saw that came from the Nocturne ultimate was in the bot lane where Backpack tried to get something started on the pair. It turned out Friction was there and killed him as we saw the Nocturne ultimate come up and
yeah, he got absolutely eviscerated by the Kayn, nearly a one-shot, and that just snowballed the Kayn even further. Got his red form at 11 minutes and 21 seconds, I believe.
Close to that, yeah. Just way too quick for Schism to muster up an answer.
Yeah.
And I mean, other than the early play, you know, the early maybe perhaps mismanagement on, I think Stevenator didn't have, you know, a terrible performance. I think he did his job trying to find his way into the line of Purple Cobras. I think he just kind of got shoved out by how overwhelmingly strong the Kayn was that game. So I don't necessarily think that the drafting was an issue here for Schism. I think that most of the champs they put together had the right idea for what they, you know, got locked out of from the pick ban phase. But
I think it was less that their draft was the problem and less that they just didn't play to their draft. they tried playing it like it was solo queue, going toward after 10 minutes. Didn't try re-ganking mid. Didn't try playing to your already your advantage top lane, who was up in a bit of farm for a little bit, until he got ganked at least.
Right. So that was a little bit of game 1, and that's going to be a 1-0 for Purple Cobras. We will be getting into game 2 as shortly as I can imagine. We'll be heading to a short break before we come back, and hopefully we'll have game 2 for you guys very soon. Welcome back, everyone. We are here, Games XP Championship semifinals. Purple Cobras, Schism Esports. Game count is 1-0 to the Purple Cobras. Game 2, we've got the champ select up. Interesting change-up of picks. We've got, of course, after the roster swaps, of course, do not see it maybe picture. We do have Goose on the Aatrox, no excuse in the Zinzao. That is going to be a Swain for Stevenator, a Lucian for Tej, and Rakan in the bot on the support. And on the side of Purple Cobras, we see Single Gazer is going to be on the Poppy, Graves Jungle for Friction, Vagar for Friction, Tristano now for Tomato Farmer, and Leona for Desolate Earth. So definitely a major switch up across the board. I don't think any of these champs are the same from last game except Rakan.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, except for the Tristano. Gotta say here though, Purple Cobras got all the counter picks they wanted. The only unfavorable matchup they really have here is, let's say, Zin into Graves, but Graves just out-farms them.
True. I think that looking at, just the styles from game 1, I don't think Friction is too worried about, finding those direct counters, because he was very proactive in finding ganks. So if we find, something in this top lane, maybe even Single Gazer, baiting out the aggression from Goose on this Aatrox, and then bringing in Friction for, a quick, ramp in the early start, may just go a lot of same.
He's definitely got great gank assist across the board. The Poppy, the Vagar, and the Leona. Where Zin's gonna have a bit more of a hard time. at least early on. He can probably... I think the Xin should definitely focus mid lane early on. That's where he needs to start an advantage and then snowball down the map. That Aatrox is going to have a rough time early on with the Poppy, since, you know, it is the counter pick. It's going to stop a Q. Yeah, it's definitely a draft I'm going to give in favor to Cobras again.
I can agree with that. Honestly, I think that they've put together a composition, and again, it's really... I give a lot of the power of comfort picks here, and Desolate Earth on Leona definitely has shown he's able to control several of these lanes. Backpack, I think, did not have a stellar performance on the Rakan. I think that, you know, he got a couple of great, you know, flash ultimate initiates, but that at
He was
the
just too
time
far behind.
right, at the time he was finding it wasn't really even enough to get his team where he wanted to be. I think that having him on, you know, the tanky picks, I see that the Braum was open at one point. And the Braum was open throughout the whole draft, and Alistair didn't get banned until second rotation. So I think that, you know, having access to that may have been more of a boon for them. But it's going to go with the Rakan anyway, and we're going to see how it pans out for them. And so those are our thoughts. We're both going to hand it over to Purple Cobras. We'll see how this goes. We'll see if they pull it out to a 2-0, or if Schism is able to put themselves on the board. So, of course, going forward, we are going to take another short break from our sponsors, and then we will catch you guys with Game 2.
My name is Tim Borseth, and I own and operate Games XP in Decorah, Iowa. Games XP is a geek paradise. We carry everything from Pong and Atari all the way to Xbox One and PS4, and all the games that would go with those consoles as well. We also carry a ton of movies. We have handheld games. We have Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon. We have D&D and Pathfinder. We carry Warhammer 40K. We have a vintage Star Wars selection. This place is great. My wife and I have had 6 kids, and they are so much fun to work with here at the store. They run the store as much as I do.
And we now repair cell phones, game consoles, computers, and small electronics.
Our store is instant fun. Not only is there cool music and cool stuff to look at, but we have a game room that is so much fun. It's free to play, and you just plug in your game system and enjoy life. The Game XP motto is bringing joy to people's lives through our products, people, and a place to play. So you have got to come to Decorah, Iowa, and check out Games XP and experience this geek gaming paradise.
And we are back. Games XP Championship, Purple Cobras, Schism Esports, Game 2, you know the rest, Purple Cobras 1-0. And we are getting into game real quick.
So 2 quick things to bring up here. 1, we have Guardian coming out of the Rakan, and 2, we have Glacial Augment coming out of it. The Veigar, specifically, is something I've been seeing Froggen play a lot of. He's kind of stopped playing Anivia. He's playing Lux and Veigar with Glacial Augment exclusively.
Right.
So, do you remember the original Race Car Veigar build?
Oh, absolutely. I loved that.
Think of that, except for instead of him having all the movement speed, it's everybody having no movement speed.
it's the same concept. I'm way faster than you, and you are all way slower than me. Basically the same. One just looks more annoying because you can't control your own character.
For sure.
I love it. I think it's great, and I'm not surprised to see it, and seeing how it's sort of flourished these more zone control oriented mages. It becomes incredibly difficult to, you know, avoid a Veigar cage off the back of, you know, being GLP slowed and just having this Veigar just waltz up to you and say, well, this is how we start the fight now. You're slowed, now you're all stunned, and now you're all dead.
And assuming this goes longer into more of a team fighting aspect of or phase of the game, it could make Stevenator's job a lot harder with getting around the fight with his ult if he's, you know, at 160 movement speed the whole fight.
Right.
So we are seeing the start with red side for both sides. I wonder if we'll see more of a lateral jungle here. It looks like Zen's going to... He's looking for an invade, kind of. Those pangs. Could see a lateral jungle here.
Some action across. Yeah, looks like they're both going to cross over.
Okay, they're calling that they've seen Graves go over the wards. They're indeed going to lateral jungle here.
You'd almost think you just saw him sort of handshake to it, the way they just kind of cross over. No one's too worried about it, but It does
This
give
is
them
more something you'd usually see with Kayn in the game, which I don't think we actually really seen last game.
Mhm.
Interesting. We do see the ward down for Veigar on the bottom side, which will protect him from this level 2 gank, and he is hugging top side, so at least that win condition early on is out of the picture. You do see him looking for it anyway. But nothing to that avail.
Yeah, fishing for that in Veigar, definitely. He's actually going to get caged up there and give some free AP to the Veigar, who does get snared in return. Seeing like he's making some not so favorable trades with Goose there in the top lane. Showing that
Graves coming up.
Ooh, friction. There we go. Seeing Gazer finding the E, finding the Q slow, the auto attack afterwards. Ooh, the flash comes out from Goose. Very smart. He's going to have to get out of there.
It's a good respect flash. So, slight issue I do have with this early start from the Zins out is you can kind of read the fact that you know it's already going to be lateral jungling. You know the Graves went to your topside jungle. Which means they probably had some kind of information on you. Why he didn't stay to take more camps away from the Graves on that top side of the map kind of bugs, or bottom side of the map kind of, where you know where the Graves is going to be during those time frames. You have the pushing bottom lane. I just think he should have taken more camps away.
He definitely had the time and freedom to get a little bit more damage done in the jungle, but opted out of it.
Very odd. This is also a coin Rakan, now that I look. a lot more it's a lot more defensive than the area.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see when you have the the Lucian, and I mean it's at the same time a lot more respect given to the Leona, just the power of that.
It's a Leona though. That's the big thing. It's a melee champion. That's free gold for Rakan to harvest off. She E's into you, you just E off. Or as she's Eing, you preemptively W the ground so she cannot stun you, and you E out. So it's not a terrible lane for Rakan. What is action here?
Friction's gonna get found here. Gonna try to bat him away. They're gonna leave there. Friction looking around on the side, but not gonna get there quite in time. Aatrox damage. I'm never gonna even act like I understand this champion. I just know he hits you with his sword over and over again, and usually you die.
So, the base passive with his actual passive, he gains a empowered ability. It's basically, you see how his sword's up like that? It's like Grievous Wounds, except for on steroids. It also decreases shielding, and does like 12% of the other champion's maximum health on that auto attack.
Oh,
yeah,
horrifying.
And that's before his Qs start happening. So, but you know that gist.
Yeah. All right.
He's a strong champion.
I'm gonna go hit the stats team up for that one and read a little bit of that in between this. But on another note, everything looking pretty sad across the board. We're seeing small CS leads built up on the sides of Schism. This is the subtle leads 2, 3, 4 in the bottom mid lanes and 5, 6 in the top lane from Goose as he's throwing around his bulky Aatrox skills to shove around Cinco Gazer.
They knew the Leona wasn't close. As soon as you see that Tristana there, I think you just jump. You at least get some poke on her while you still have the freeze where he can't walk up anymore. Maybe force a reset, does not even more XP.
Yes, this is definitely a much more slower paced game being played from both sides.
We see incoming top.
Ooh, Goose. Goes for the ultimate on a Cinco. Cinco might be stuck here. Tries to find it, but no excuse. Gonna slide in there, get the E, finds the auto. The teleport comes in and gets canceled by Friction, and that's gonna be Cinco going down. First blood to no excuse. Nice little revenge gank from last game.
This is definitely what we wanted to see out of No Excuse, a faster paced early game where he's not getting entirely out pressure by the Grave. He's about a camp behind too. But that could have just been lane creeps there in mid lane. I didn't quite see. Regardless, he's pretty evened up with the Graves, one of the biggest power farmers in the game.
Ooh, Tomato Farmer trying to jump out, but Leona's trying to go back in on the backpack, but Tomato Farmer quite a bit low there. Having
that goes right back to my comment earlier about him just being able to slide out if you see the Leona trying to just kabal him. So it's just, it's a safer matchup for the Rakan. Plus, he did bring Cleanse, I can also point out here.
True.
I like doing on Recon personally. It gives you a better ability to slide in and out of fights, and if you say you try and flash engage and you get stunned, you can still get the engage off and be able to get out without, you know, straight dying.
Right. Yeah, I feel like it definitely mitigates having cleanse to get rid of those disables to get yourself a guaranteed initiate is a lot more useful than, you know, the utility, sort of the early mid utility of securing kills off of ignite. So I definitely see how it works out.
See a bit more farming come out of the Aatrox. It's a little up here. About half a wave. But overall is up about 300 gold.
More and more back and forth fights.
Yeah, early on it seems like this could be a bit of a longer game. It's a lot slower tempo than the previous one, that's for sure. Problem being the solution hasn't been able to find too much going on in this early laning phase, where Tristana is just happy to sit here and be even in farm with Illusion and scale up.
Ooh, we're looking for a little more here. Just I don't know what to say. Just got subtle leads sort of built up over here. Just the kill on the side of No Excuses tilting in the favor of Schism, and a very slight lead on the side of Goose on the top, but really it's teetering at this point.
CS leads are very even across the board, where Graves is taking a slight lead, and the Aatrox is taking a slight lead, which evens out, and the first blood's definitely the only tilting factor right now, which even then, that needs to be pushed further, because with a scaling comp like Purple Cobras, you need to push your advantages early, or you're going to have a hard time in the game.
Yes, especially if the deal with getting Singa's gonna push Goose out of the Goose goes for the ultimate though. There's the Poppy ultimate to knock him away. Singa does not want to deal with any of that. I don't even know. We see Backpack looking for the ultimate, finds 3 there. They're trying to get it in the middle. No Excuse tries to find it in the center. But here comes Illusion ultimate, but Desolator's in the center of the action. And they're gonna get pushed away. There's the flash that comes through, and the ultimate comes out from Tomato Farmer and kills Tej. The jump in comes in onto No Excuse. He's just trying to peck him.
The Stoic broke the camel's back there. Just one step too far forward, and Tej gets punished by Tomato Farmer for it. That's definitely going to hinder them going into the mid game. Tristana being at Evolution is... it's just not going to be good for you. We'll just go with that. Especially when she's able to get her draw the bead passive stacks going early and scale up to her attack speed range. On the 2-item mark, we'll see if they intend on trying to group more, and then on the side of Purple Cobras, or if they're going to wait for the IE Tristana with 3 items. Assuming she goes Storm Razor.
Ooh, Friction the flash Q from Goose. As you see, the cage locks up both of them. Ooh, a nice save there. You know, save those little wonky hitbox there.
So as the Aatrox actually got stunned by the cage there, the animation for the Q was cancelled, but it continued to go through, and the damage went actually onto Friction.
Disjointed hitboxes, we like those.
The more you know.
Shit lordy.
Aatrox is unstoppable while queuing, it turns out.
About it. That would have been awful if it actually killed him.
Oh, it would have been great.
You would have just had no idea what he'd been killed by. You're just like, oh, I got killed by this completely stunned Aatrox. Sick.
That's about right.
Singo is taking a lot of damage from Goose here in this lane, trying to do what he can to push him back with these Poppy skills, but just the resourceless Aatrox, just every time it's off cooldown, you can just see him just slam down with these sword slashes. Wild champion. There's a knockup, there's an auto.
That's the empowered auto. You see the little shield break next to him?
Oh, that's what that is.
That is what the Aatrox passive is.
Oh. I realize I can just click on it. Oh, never mind. I can't click nothing. We see the lockup coming through. The stopwatch comes out from Friction. And Backpack and Steven are going to back out. Tennifer hops in. Friction finds No Excuse, but I don't know if he can duel this out. No Excuse going to drop the ultimate. Trying to slide in there. Oh, the ultimate takes him out. And the
cancel an auto attack.
And the turnaround and the Leona ultimate and everything is just dumped on top of Stevenator. And he is going to fall here.
That is very rough for the side of Schism. Tristana just gets bigger and bigger. Only
Yeah.
Lucian able to stay even in farm. Not a good look for the side of Schism going into the mid game.
So we're seeing this pattern of Schism letting, you know, these threats that scale into a very potent mid game, and you know it's even harder on the Tristana, who, you know, Kane at least has to get. Oh no, Tomato Farmer looking for the jump on a T, doesn't seem to have the dash available. Finds the ultimate, finds the jump off the reset, and takes the kill there. Nothing on him, and it's gonna take him out. So there you go. Assassin Tristana is gonna take Lucian out there.
We also seen the Herald going over to the side of Purple Crow was also on the back end of that. So, 2 birds, 1 stone. We'll see where he goes to drop that. I'm assuming he's going to try and get this Aatrox out of the... He's trying to get this Poppy out of this... Where the Aatrox is at a point where it can just kind of abuse him. But he is pathing towards the bottom side instead.
Ooh, Cinco. He's on the run. He's trying to find Goose Daddy. He gets knocked back by the Poppy ultimately. He's going to save himself there. One of them. What do we got going on here? So, a nice lead getting built back up by the side of Purple Cobras. They're gonna... Actually, Frishton is gonna snatch that, that Rift Scuttler. But we do see...
Are they gonna start this? Not yet.
I feel like they have the liberty to.
I think they could look for a Herald play mid.
Ooh.
And while the Herald is pushing.
Desolate trying to look for Stevenator here, finds a stun, the Glacial Augment coming through. Stevenator trying to flash away, has the Demonic Ascent up. And he's gonna get out of there.
Notice how Stevenator is moving just slightly above maybe base movement. Icy Bolts.
Ooh, Cinco. Trying to get to the side there, but they're looking for friction here. They get double knockback from the Tristana ultimate. And they're not gonna find friction here, barely sliding out of there with his life. I would say Cinco's starting to find the fancy feet here in this Aatrox lane to not get hit up by the 3-piece combo.
Ninja Tabby's helped that. So what I would like to see coming out of the Cobras here, aside from, you know, the pick in the backpack there, almost. Oh, I guess they're gonna straight take it anyway. I was gonna say they could do a Herald play mid, and then force Dragon in the same time tempo, and they just didn't need to. So where might he take this? Is he's not doing dragons or Scuttler? Feels like the tensions are just slowly rising around this dragon, even though it's only a Cloud Drake. So oh, there's the dragon actually. Getting committed on.
That is gonna go through. Whereas he's gonna pick up that dragon there. Goose able to dance a little bit faster with his Aatrox Qs, of course. Very helpful with the Cloud Drake.
Hey, it'll help Synchro dodge maybe the first.
Ooh, Tomato Farmer's gonna jump in on a T, flashes to the side of the flashes to the side of the backpack ultimate, but not enough fight to. Yeah,
it was a good flash, but the hop too hypey.
Not quite the position he wanted, and he is going to fall down, and we see the money is going to get put back into Teja's pocket there.
It's a lot of gold for Lucian.
Yeah, he found himself a Blade of the Ring King off the back of that. Bit of an unfortunate move on Tomato's part.
You call it unfortunate, I call it greedy.
Yeah.
Giving Lucian a way back to this game just is not probably the worst idea right now. Considering how dominant their landing phase ended up being. Oh, there's the Rift Herald being put down.
We're looking for more. There comes the Rift Herald going to the top tower. Goose trying to do what he can to get in on these two on top of Cinco and Friction there. Oh, Populot's going to send Goose back, but no excuse. Might have the damage to do it himself. He has the flash out of there. Off the back of this ultimate, trying to get away from the Rift Herald, but we see Friction comes in and takes no excuse out on the back there. Friction is in the center of the action, but he's going to get jumped on. Stevenator is going to take the kill out on him.
How did no excuse go down there? Did he get hit by the Graves ult? Where did he die?
Not sure. I think he might have got hit by Rift, Harold?
Yeah, look where his body was. The Graves ult was in Tribush. I guess Rift killed him.
I actually want to say Rift killed him. Oh, T's trying to get in on Tomato Farmer. Shot, 2 shots. Backpack's gonna find the flash. The charm barely touches him, and the Q goes through, and they find the kill in the bot lane.
They're just throwing now. This is just the early game lead is kind of diminishing. Cinco's here.
Cinco finds a stun on the Tej. Trying to do what he can. Oh, dodges out, flashes away from the Leona ultimate.
Okay. It was good he held the dash, but I guess he had to flash anyway. So, it'll be interesting to see what Veigar goes here for a second item. Is he going to go Spooky Ghost, or is he going to go for something more like Morello Namicon? More damage. So far, it could be either.
I feel like he's going to commit. He's going to go for the Shadows, most likely.
90 movement speed, here we come!
Ooh, no excuse. The E going to get blocked by the Poppy W, but we do see the return teleport as Zing gets stunned into the wall. More teleports coming through. Frishness. Ultimate's going to remove no excuse from the game. And we're going to see the teleport come back in on the side of Goose. And I think Frischen is in a bind here. There's 4 here on the side of Schism. And that's Frischen going down. Cinco is next. He's going to find the flash over the wall, and nobody's going to follow. But that's good enough for the side of Schism as they find another kill. But that is going to be a tower for the side of the Purple Cobras.
That's what you call an overcommit by the side of Purple Cobras. That's for sure. As soon as you see that Aatrox TP start coming down, you need to do all you can to get out of there, let alone try and refight it. Giving it more than they can chew.
Cinco finds the ultimate onto Goose, tries to get in on Tej, but he might actually go down here. He's got to watch. There's 1 knock, 2 from Goose, and he's going to find the kill on Cinco.
Question mark?
Not quite what he wanted there. That is a Lucian. He has a Blade of the Rune King. He will shoot you. Oh, Friction is here. Ah, Friction, that is an Aatrox. But he's got his buddy Friction behind him, trying to get away. Glacial Augment comes down and he disappears. At the same time, we see the charm come through on a Tomato Farmer. Leon's making a lot of no excuse, but Leona's might get pulled in next. They're still going to escape here.
Good respect flash from Desolate, but I don't think Rakan ult W is gonna be up just quite in time for that.
Another TP coming in on the side of Cobras. They're gonna back off out of there. Leona's not available.
So, if we, kind of look aside from the bloodbath they're starting, because this isn't solo queue, we need to look at what this Purple Cobras need to do to try and get this lead back before this Lucian tries to take over mid game. Looks
Apparently
like
just fight more.
I disagree with that one.
Seems to be a great Purple Cobra strategy. Works out for him every time. No excuse in the middle of the action here. Gonna knock away the Poppy, but get stunned up, and No Excuse is gonna die here. Friction finds the kill on No Excuse in the jungle.
Okay, just keep fighting. Sure.
Yes. Why not, honestly?
Free tower.
I think it's gonna get locked up in the Aatrox box, but Friction is there, putting his guns through. His backpack tries to get back away. Tej finds the return kill on to Friction. Tej in the center of the action finds the Veigar ultimate, doesn't go down. Backpack's gonna find the kill on Single. Schism is running away with this right now. Backpack's in the center of the action. They're gonna find the kill on the Backpack, but Desolate and everyone is gonna go down on the side of Purple Cobras. That is a 4 for 2 for Schism.
Cobras are just over-forcing again and again.
They really want too much to happen here, and they don't really have the, I just don't think they're strong, honestly. They really have to rally around Tomato Farmer right now on, the Storm Razor Tristana, because, Friction has relegated himself to these slowing items on the Veigar, so he's not putting, oh no.
Does it actually, oh.
No. Alright, 1 victim to PvE. It happens. It shouldn't happen. It happened. Press F.
He got his rapid fire cannon.
He got his rapid fire cannon off that, and that's all that matters.
I think he killed one small chicken. Good trade.
Yeah.
At least the Aatrox didn't get it.
Right. I like that. Aatrox did not get that chicken. He only has 2 levels up on Single Gazer. It doesn't matter that much.
Yes, then you have the chicken.
True.
Not the Tristana.
The morale chicken. Monkey emote coming out of Goose. Feels Aatrox appropriate.
So he did commit to the Twin Shadows, you were right.
No.
Now we should see Merlo.
Cinco tries doing friction here. They're really trying to. There are 4 people in Aatrox. Leona what it comes to. But there's the Recon shield. Can they even make the fight happen here? Aatrox is on top of friction here. Gets sunned into the tower though. And they're going to find the return kill on a Goose. Tej is trying to get over the wall. Finds the flash. Finds the double tap on the friction. On the friction. I lied. It's friction. Dead.
One of those Fs.
F-Man is dead to Tej. The double gun.
Wow, that was a rather split fight. Seen an Aatrox go in 1v4. And Lucian salvage a fight. Really good ult coming out of Cinco though to knock away the Xin and the Rakan early on.
Yes,
or else
yeah,
that would have
nice.
been a 1 for nothing.
A very nice save from Backpack getting into the crux of that fight to put the shield and the Guardian proc onto Goose to keep him alive a little bit extra longer in that fight to, you know, threaten around the tower of the Cobras until he got, you know, unfortunately Poppy stun there. But good on Schism. They're still playing together in these team fights, definitely showing, of course, also having the rotation power of the double Cloud Drake at this point. As next dragon, I believe, is alive. No, it is not alive, Skyson. What are you talking about? But when it does come alive, it'll be an Ocean Dragon. Because I'm tired of seeing Cloud Drakes.
Friction with the failed jump over the wall. It's okay, nobody's seen that. So, to point out here, Lucian has now officially hit his big powers. He's got the 2 items and a Zeal. This is where we can expect Schism to be more hands-on trigger for plays here. At least until like the 32-minute mark when the IE comes through for the Tristana. That's kind of the win condition for Cobras right now, is waiting for that. And avoiding the Lucian team fighting at this point in time. But of course the Graves is still strong. But not strong enough.
Ooh, we're looking for a little more friction, trying to get in the center of the action, but he's going to get gunned down by that Lucian ultimate. It is not enough for him, as Tej is running away with this game on this Lucian here.
Yeah, Friction decided he didn't want me to say anything good about him.
You want to live. And Tej might be the next here. Rakan tries to get to Tej, but it's getting locked up by the Leone. They might try to look for the double knockout from Poppy. They're trying to kite back here, and they might be able to. Nox, He's and Stevenator are here. This is starting to look bad for the Cobras. They got to get away from Tej. Goose is in the center of the fight. Tomato Farmer disappears under the blade of the Darkin. He is down. Goose is BM recalling in front of tower because why not? Cinco Gaze are getting burst down by the back here. No excuse enough to try to find Cinco Gaze, and they find the kill there. Schism is rampaging through the Purple Cobra's base right now. Ooh, Stevenator flashed over the Vagar cage! Finds the kill on him right through his combo. And they're going to turn in and find more and more members of Purple Cobras. Tej dominating now in this Lucian.
So Schism is making the best of a bad situation, it turns out.
I think so.
Drafts, who cares? Just pick what you want.
Drafts don't matter if you play better than the other people. We see a little more action. Leona, but trying to come through on Steve, not quite finding him. We are seeing a lot of the Cobras trying to regain the authority of their jungle. No excuse to getting chased down by this Poppy. This might be bad for him. No excuse, find the phase rush, eating into the minion wave. Single Gaze are trying to give chase. I think excuse might go down here. There's the auto. He is down.
And a buckler? And a buckler.
Just trying to find it. Auto, trying to go through friction. Just dancing around, waiting for the reload, and Goose goes down.
Also, Graves over Aatrox, it turns out. But
Guns still beat swords in any time period.
Gonna point out, Goose also had his ult there. He just didn't use it.
Doesn't cost anything to use. It's just a hit the button.
Yeah. Just hit
You
the
know.
button. As soon as the Graves goes on you.
The goose was too loose. It's fair. Looking for a little more here. We see, you know, the recovery phase here as we see now Schism, the one in the lead, now the 27-minute mark. They've pulled ahead to about a 4K gold lead. You know, sitting slightly comfortable on two towers ahead, 5-3. But we are seeing the Graves is scaling up now on the side for Cobras. So it's going to be a lot on, you know, the power of Tej here on this 6-2 Lucian and the 4-1 Swain of Stevenator to like control the tempo of these fights going forward. As Schism is looking to really take control here.
See lots of pings going on to the Baron. See if they got spotted by the blue trinket ward though. No, maybe not. Okay, it was in the Baron pit. Not the Death Rush.
Uh-oh.
Starting it?
Oh, Backpack looking for another flash engage, and the pull comes through. Friction trying to do what he can, but I think he might go down to the burn. He's actually going to survive as he pops the red buff a little bit. Steven there in the center of the action. I was way too busy watching Friction there as he tapped red buff a couple times to heal himself up to not die. But in the middle of the fight, nobody's going to go down here.
Good slash forward.
But that is going to give Schism
It's nothing.
a bit of freedom.
Wow. I'm surprised nobody went down that last exchange, considering when they ended up in the whole cage with the area around the Elephant in the Baron, and the area between the river and towards the red buff, there was 3 whole slow zones from the Vega. And the entire team was in them.
Friction slides in. Oh, he's not going to find access. Going to go over to Tej there as Friction slides back out of the Baron pit, but that is going to be a Baron that goes over the side. Oh, they're going to take out Goose in the center of the Veigar cage, and Backpack's going to go down next. And that's members of Schism falling left and right.
They did get the Baron, though.
Did get the...
So we're looking at a point now where the Xin is no longer really a threat, and just a knock-up tool. And Tristana is getting real close to that IE.
So this is definitely getting to a point where Provoker was, you know, finding, they say, as long as we can get ourselves, shove ourselves into a team fight, which, I mean, it's so easy for their team. They have the Leona ultimate, they have the Veigar cage, they, you know, even have a Poppy just tap ultimate and start a fight off of any form of CC they really want to. And then it's, you know, the Graves facing forward, the Tristana just on the outskirts, just poking away the rest of your team, and you have to, if you're on the side of Schism, you really have to divvy up your forces and be able to deal with everything. And Tej can only shoot 2 guns for so long.
Yeah, the culling is definitely going to be a good zone tool, at least early on in the fights, to try and dissuade the Graves from diving in onto him. But we really need to see Backpack really step up in these fights, or else Schism might just fall over going into this late game team fight. Do you see the stacks coming through, completed now for Goose as well, so he's going to be quite the menace in team fights. As we see in the last one, where he kind of just one-shot the Tristana straight up into the thing.
Glacial Slow's coming down onto Tej, trying to find the follow-up slow from Graves, but not going to get it. As you see Goose said, he's just going to slap up this mid lane inhibitor. I don't think he's going to go unanswered here.
Also, Swain splitting on the bottom side.
Oh, he's not going to get it. Backpack's looking for the charm, finds a lockup, and we are going to see Friction disappear before he can even respond. Backpack absolutely monstrous on the recon. I'm going to shut up everything that I said before going into this game because he is putting in the work on that champion.
Also point out, as Tristana nears her IE, so does Lucian. Through this mid game, Lucian just picked up so much farm and honestly kills. He's picked up 3 shutdowns in the mid game himself.
Right.
He has the full 3 items on the Tristana to the 3+, you know, the XE. where he will have... He actually has an Infinity Engine base right now.
Yeah, he does.
Tristana. So we'll see if the team fight gets forced ahead of time. It shouldn't, but it is.
Good old trick fake out as we see them go on to Recon and slide right out. Oh, they're looking for more. Cage comes down, not going to find anybody. The root's going to come through onto Friction. That's a lot of damage coming through before he's even looking into this fight. And that's going to be the inhibitor down. Ooh, the lockdown's coming through on a Desolate Earth. He has nowhere to go. He's going to go down. Steven Air is still alive. Tej is godlike here. They're trying to do what they can to stave off Schism. Schism is coming forward. They're doing what they can. The Vega Ultimate comes through and takes out No Excuse. The members of Purple Cobras are just narrowly staying alive.
Tristana's still alive.
Oh my lord, Lucian.
Oh, just kidding. Yeah, Tristana just shoots straight through the Aatrox early on in that fight with the IE, but just wasn't able to hit anybody else but like Xin Zhao for a while. Tried jumping and fighting Lucian, and Lucian just wasn't having any of that. So we'll just have to see how this goes now. You'll see Lucian IE coming through as soon as he vacs here. Yes. With a full QSS as well to back that up. It's going to take a miracle in this next push for Cobras not to just get run over by this Lucian.
Yeah, I would say this is definitely a very, very powerful Tej. You know, having the effect of the QSS, he's really able to just, you know, walk through the Leona stun or walk through the Vega cage if need be to, you know, get to where he needs to be in a fight. So just cutting off his plan of attack with one spell is no longer going to be an available strat for Cobras.
Cinco can absolutely get eviscerated by this Swain. He has no magic resist at all.
Yeah. That he does not.
All armor. So as long as he can put some kind of threat onto her while he's doing his big AoE, then the solution should be absolutely fine with the amount of zone control they bring to this fight.
Oh, I see the Nomicon finished up for Friction as he looks to be going into the Death Cab next. Building into that ramping AP and doing quite a bit of damage in the last fight, but we see the slow come through. The freeze ray is up on the side of SKZ, the backpack having to get out of there. Leona Ultimate comes through and immediately getting QS'd up by Tej. Goose trying to flash his way into the fight. We see the pull through comes in on Friction and locked up by that Swain. There's nothing they can do about it. Singo is trying to do everything he can to fight.
In the back line.
The double hill comes in, they can't get anything to happen there. Steven Air is just so far back here, and in the meantime, it gives Schism the time to rip open the base. We're going to see kill after kill, and the Swain Demonic Ascension explodes and comes through, and Schism runs through with a Game 2 victory. So, much different game from Schism there.
Yeah, I talked up the draft Purple Cobras, and Schism made me eat my words. Happy to see that they ended up pulling back from that deficit early on. It's very rare we see a Lucian come back against a Tristana who has an early game like that. Yeah,
Tej definitely definitely put his money where his mouth is this game. I mean, I talked a lot, you know, I said a lot about the Schism roster, and I talked about, you know, just the absence of Carmony and bringing in a new AD carry and what they, you know, the dynamic looked like before. And, you know, Backpack, we saw so many plays. You mean, he had 75% kill participation in this game on this Recon, and so many of those engages were him just, you know, finding the super long range Recon, you know, flash W ultimates, just say, at just the drop of a hat, say, hey, this is how we start a fight, follow me.
It was definitely really good. Yeah, it was a much better performance in his first game.
Schism bot lane definitely coming in real strong there off the back of a nice performance. So this score is tied up at 1-1, and we'll be getting into the look of Game 3 in what I imagine is very soon. But right before that, we were going to take a short break. Hello, everyone. It is I, Skyson. We're here at the Games XP Championship. We've got Purple Cobras. We've got Schism Esports. We've got a 1-1 tied set. Best of 5 series going into Game 3. First team to break ahead to 2-1. We will see how it goes down, and we've got the draft for you. A little bit of the same, a lot of new on one side. We see a pretty much major switch up. You know, a lot of Game 1 pullbacks on the side of Purple Cobras. Meanwhile, the Schism roster has seemed to say, here's what worked, and here's how we think we can improve it. So run me through this one, Trick.
Alright, we're going to start with Schism here. As you said, we're seeing a bit of the same. We have the Aatrox coming back. It had a pretty good laning phase going to the Poppy, which is supposed to be, you know, the big counter pick going into that, which didn't quite happen there. Still looks like they're adjusting there. The Xin, they're running it back once again. The Lucian's here. Alistar, that's the big thing to point out here. They have the highest priority support in the game right now on their team, where they're also running back the Akali. So this is a pretty heavy dive comp coming out of the side of Schism into an Ezreal. That's kind of awkward for them, but they do have a Lux to dive, so that's always a plus for them. If we look at matchups here, we do see the Lux coming back into the Akali again. We did see the solo kill coming out for Frisian into Stevenator, because Stevenator had a greedy kind of dive early on. It'll be interesting to see if they try and, you know, work more on that mid lane again, or if they try and do this more on the sidelines. It is in a Moo jungle. I'm not a fan of this pick personally.
Yeah.
But in that case, I guess they're going to try and focus around the bot lane, try and get that. But again, this is an Alistar Lucian. This is one of the best kill lanes in the game as of right now. That isn't Zyra, Khan, Braum, Lucian. But yeah, as you can see, Lucian's a common trend here along best kill lane.
True.
I think that Schism is going to try and roll this over in the mid game, where on the side of Purple Cobras, they're going to try and stall this out for late. What do you think about these picks coming back in?
I agree with a lot of it. I think that they definitely, on the side of Schism, went with a lot of what worked. I think seeing Tej on the Lucian again is definitely what they want. Tej had a very exemplary performance on the Lucian, did a nice job of putting Tomato Farmer in his place on the Tristana. Of course, we see Tomato Farmer more often on the Ezreal pick, so seeing how that lane matchup goes is going to be more interesting. We do see Desolate Earth on the Pike, which I believe isn't a champion we've seen him play very often, but seeing how that goes in the Alistar, you know, has a lot more of the aggression in the lane off the back of the Lucian than sort of the more passive Ezreal. And
the more I look at this draft, the less I like this Pike.
It's questionable, I will say. I think
Alistar. You have to like perfectly prep your Q to dissuade and engage, and if you try engaging, you're just gonna get blown up early on.
Yeah.
And this is an Ezreal. He's not gonna be able to kill too much early. Lucian's like the only ADC I could say that matches Ezreal's 1-3 spike really well, especially paired with once again an Alistar.
And there's not a lot on the side of Purple Cobras for them to, you know, have a front line to distract Schism. I mean, they have the Scion and an Amumu ultimate, and there's not really a lot of space for Desolate Earth to, you know, be fishing for ultimates here. He really has to get into the crux of these fights, and Alistar is just going to remove him from these fights. And even Zinza has the ability with his ultimate. So, I don't know. I feel like the Pike is definitely a suboptimal pick here. I don't think that it's going to have the payoff they're looking for, but at the same time, seeing Single Gazer on the Scion as the answer now to Goose's Aatrox in the top lane will, I think, work out for them.
If this ends up anything like last game, this Pike pick could become volatile and actually snowball the... But I see that as less likely, as their damage up front is not great. Though Pike is good at compensating that, as long as you're able to poke down properly.
Yeah, I'm going to say Pike able to put down sort of the damage in lane and escape off the back of the Phantom Undertow to even if he gets engaged on.
They have a very bursty siege comp coming out of the side of Cobras, where it's a little awkward in that sense because they can match the Aatrox just fine in the side lane, but when it comes to trying to force a dive maybe early on, it's going to be a little difficult when they try to siege. Another thing that I want to bring up here is the Scion pick. So roughly halfway through the split, we've seen Scion get that, you know, the HP buff on his W whenever he kills minions, he gets more HP.
Yeah.
Synchro Gazer was like the first adapter to that, and took the league by storm. That was back when we had Purple Cobras back in what, like 7th, I think they were at the time. And then the Scion came out, and they just won like every series. It became like a permaban pick of the season.
Something like that. Yeah, definitely worked out for him because they just found constant. Yeah, I would say you saw it a lot of Cinco, you saw it a lot of Freshburger. I mean, there were a lot of top laners that over time it adapted.
I'm just saying specifically, he was the first one who adapted it real quick and was drawing bans here, left, right, and center. Seeing it come through here after we've seen him just be so volatile on the pick, I would say he's been the best Scion in the league by far. Freshburger's definitely up there, but he has been the best. We'll just have to see how he plays into an Aatrox, you know, a dominant lane bullet, into somebody who wants to get to 10 minutes, randomly have 1,000 more health than the enemy laner. We'll have to see how that goes early, as they do have the Xin Zhao, who can force really well into the Scion and top lane. So again, this will be pretty interesting to see how these first 10 minutes play out, the top 7 out.
I am definitely looking forward to it, especially the mid lane matchup. We'll see if Steven Ader has learned from his mistakes and takes over that lane, because we do typically think of that as a lane that Akali wants to be ahead in and should be getting ahead in. And again, you talked a lot about the top lane, and I definitely agree. It'll be interesting to see if sort of the mastery of the not very masterful Scion will be enough to stymie away Grease's aggression. But yeah, I definitely agree. Looking at a lot about what is going to happen in this bot lane, if we're going to see Tej pop off with backpack on the Alistar now, or if we're going to see Tomato Farmer get to play at his pace and keep the game under their control.
So, on the side of Purple Cobras, what do you think they need to do to survive this early game onslaught, per se, and move on to win this game?
Rough call. I feel like we're going to have to see a lot of what we saw, near the beginning of Game 2, where we just saw a very, calm, not too aggressive, early phase, where we just saw, the back and forth farming, because I think that Schism is able to, or I'm sorry, Purple Cobras are able to put themselves into a position where their team fight looks solid if they get to the point where they're all farmed up to, their core items. You have Tomato Farmer on the back of Nezreal, and nobody really able to, overcommit to get to him other than maybe Backpack, but he's going to be looking for more of, the full team engage. And if Tomato Farmer is away from them on that aspect, then he's going to be a lot harder to get to. So I think that Purple Cobras will have, a better chance of staying in the game if they don't fall in lane. And that, of course, will come down to jungle aggression, as we see No Excuse again on the Xin Zhao, who did find the early ganks last time a little bit earlier than No Excuse or than Friction. But Friction now on the Amumu has the ability to farm up and sort of become that tankier champion. So it'll be interesting to see if he stays proactive on this pick like he did with the Kayn in Game 1.
For sure. And with that, I think it sounds like we're ready to get in a game, right?
Yeah, we're about ready. So we are going to head over to a break from our sponsors, and we will catch you guys with Game 3.
This is Tim Borseth, and I own and operate Games XP in Decorah, Iowa. Games XP is a geek paradise. We carry everything from Pong and Atari all the way to Xbox One and PS4, and all the games that would go with those consoles as well. We also carry a ton of movies. We have handheld games. We have Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon. We have D&D and Pathfinder. We carry Warhammer 40K. We have a vintage Star Wars selection. This place is great. My wife and I have had 6 kids, and they are so much fun to work with here at the store. They run the store as much as I do.
And we now repair cell phones, game consoles, computers, and small electronics.
Our store is instant fun. Not only is there cool music and cool stuff to look at, but we have a game room that is so much fun. It's free to play, and you just plug in your game system and enjoy life. The Game XP motto is bringing joy to people's lives through our products, people, and a place to play. So you have got to come to Decorah, Iowa, and check out Games XP and experience this geek gaming paradise.
And we are here, Game 3 of Schism Esports and Purple Cobras. 1-1 tie. First team looking to go to 2-1. We will see how this goes down.
we have a new kind of start coming out here from the side of Cobras. They're going towards a top side 5-stack. Maybe I guess they're going to try and look for an invade and maybe get the enemy red buff. They're going up through the lane actually. Maybe they're trying to look for a pick onto Goose, but they are 5-stacking down on the bottom side in this brush. So I guess they will not meet this early. Oh, they're still 5-stack. They're invading in. Looks like they're starting to spread out on the bottom side. They could face check this.
Oh no.
Kali's walking up. Kali's gonna spot this out.
They are gonna back off here.
So nothing comes to that avail. I thought they were gonna try and look for the red buff here, but I guess it isn't a Mumu, so it's a little awkward to try and do that. Yeah. Mumu early on, definitely not a strong champion. Did he start Q when he's seen them? No, he's not started anything yet.
I would hope not.
Hey, who knows? Maybe they're like, hey, split call. Maybe we should go in on this and like immediately level down.
What's going on here? Knockup's coming in on Dazzler. He says, hey, stop that. Throws the hook, misses on backpack. So free damage for the side of Schism. But a Kleptomancy proc gives Tomato Farmer a mana potion.
That's a pretty good start for them. Mana pot's always good for the sustain, especially on Ezreal.
Get removed from the game for a reason.
The cast of win days. Mana pots 4 days.
Oof.
But enough lulling on that subject. Let's get back into this. Early on, we see this Mumu doing a top side, starting blue buff. Not always something you need to do, but I guess he felt more comfortable with that. He's gonna also start the top side, so this Mumu should be spotted out by this ward. Yes, this Mumu is going to be spotted by this ward on the Raptors. So they're gonna have information where he is. But they did ping out where that Akali ward went in the river. Sin looks to be looking for the invade. No, he backed off. Yo, there is a ward in that brush actually. For the blue side. I just noticed that. Scuttle moves on the red buff. So nothing too volatile this early on. Seems to be looking for level 2 mid.
A whole lot of champions on the blue side spending their mana, and a whole lot of champions on the red side not having mana to spend.
The 2 of them, yeah. Or the solo lanes.
We're still seeing the lanes, the CS leads being built up on these laners. And it's because, I mean, you can't, it's not great to talk about this early, we're only 3 minutes in. But it's still, we've seen it now, one game over, become a very quickly surmounting lead on the side of Schism. So seeing that they're, finding the opportunities to, even get leads this early is something that's in their favor.
As Ezreal was getting some decent early RNG with the Klepto, that biscuit he had that he just took now was not actually from his Masters. That was he got that at roughly 240 from his actual. So good RNG coming out there. He's gotten 2 potions from that, including the mana pot.
Steven are trying to find something down on. Cinco's trading out with Goose Daddy, and
he's down in farm pretty decently so far, though, inside of Cinco.
This really is just the power of the Trox, as we see Schism's looking for the early Infernal here, and I think they're going to get it uncontested. They are going to nab that.
An even more free Infernal than NA at Rift Rivals.
Backpack tries to find the engager, and they're not going to turn around Tomato Farm and not having the mana to go into Backpack. But Frishton finds the flash snare onto Cheech, finds the combo. Desolate trying to find anything. Cheech's going to go for the flash there and flashes into minions, and he is safe. Bit of an over-aggressive flash on Frishton. I think he was really trying to land the double stuff snare. But
Finn really needs to punish that. This is a big window for him to do this.
Kidding.
Level 6 windows will be coming up for the Akali. You definitely need to be looking for a dive on this Lux with that. You gotta blow this open early, or you're gonna kind of struggle going into the mid game against Ezreal when he gets his 2-item spike.
Yeah, we see a little bit more going through. We see the leads being built up across the board. Both solo laners. We see the revolver in Stevenator's hands. Probably, you know, as you said, looking to go for the level 6. Maybe the all-in now, especially with the flash not available on Frisian. Going to see how that plays out. And Goose not letting up a little bit on Sand. Look at all that damage! What is this champion?
That's Aatrox for you.
You even told me about half what this champion does, and I still just, my jaw drops a little bit watching this. That's a tank he's beating up. You can't do that to a tank. Oh yeah, I guess he's just got cloth armor now. Still, come on.
This is still a Scion.
Right. He's big. You should not be able to push him around with your sword like that. Wild. But in on the Stevenator. Gonna find the snare there. Friction on the side. It actually stuns up a minion there. The flash comes out for Stevenator regardless to try to get away from him.
Steve just not quite 6. 90%.
Desolate gonna hook a minion here. As you see, Tomato Farmer gonna find half his health gone on the side of the Alsta combo. That minion felt really unfortunate on the back of the pike hook there. Friction is here now. Ooh, the flash around from Backpack. But the Ignite's going to come down, the Knockup's going to come through, the Stun's going to come out from Desolate Earth. And that's first one going to Tomato Farmer at the same time. Scion trying to get out of there with the ultimate, but we see Goose knock him around. And he's going to find the Silico on him. Stevenator on the side of Frisian there. Trying to do what he can. The Ignite comes through, but there's the shield on Frisian and disappears! Finds the return kill. Lasts long enough through the Lux Shield and your zone barrier to find the return kill there. A double turnaround for the mid laners.
Yeah, the barrier plus the Lux W, that's a solid 340 health shield that he chewed through there with his second ult.
Good lord.
Definitely an obnoxious lane for the Akali early on, but it's good that he waited long enough for that to come back up before going back in, because that could have just
Desolate Earth had the hook hanging around minions and had some other pike skills available, but T just slides in and says, hey, 2 guns. And 2 guns beat Magic Finger, and Tomato Farmer falls over.
He had both sums.
This just looks like a very large lack of respect for the Schism crew here. Purple Cobras are not really, you know, acknowledging that they did in fact lose the last game.
To Dissolution. Oh,
definitely to Dissolution. Oh, the pike hook lands. Frisian finds the ultimate. Desolate Earth trying to go in next. The Eastland's going to come through on Lucian. Tej is looking. Tej finds the ultimate on them, though. Desolate has to get out of there. He's ignited, and the W takes him out. They find the return kill on the Tej, but the flash away is not enough, and they find it off the back of the Ardent Blaze.
That just feels bad for the Pike. It was a max range Ardent Blaze. There was a red ward in the brush, so he couldn't start his passive healing up, and just taken down.
Definitely all around.
Good by Tej to make sure he gets that trade kill though.
Yeah, let's say the presence of mind of Tej to just, you know, be engaged on the double ultimates there and immediately say, all right, where is my avenue to look for a turnaround here? I got to get what I can out of this.
Even better about it, that W connected after he went down, so there was no shutdown gold for the Amumu. It was only the flat gold. Lucy's incoming on bottom side here.
Ooh, the Alistair comes in, flashes away from the combo, or sorry, Arcane shifts away from the combo. Notesu's not going to find the follow-up there. The Pike Stun comes to Alistair.
And no flash for the Alistair, though the flash boop him. So nothing else comes to avail of that. But we do see...
Oh, how many times do I have to watch this fight in the top lane? The Sign ultimate comes through as he tries to get away from the last bit of the Aatrox combo. Cinco Gazer narrowly living here, and just that Aatrox damage is insane. The man's got a phage.
This is Aatrox and the Scion.
God!
This is not the Cinco of mid-season Scion, that is for sure. Not solo killing every other top laner with Scion.
My lord. Yeah, I mean, this is where I want to see the Renekton come out, but the Renekton has been relegated to the ban list as it should be. So, unfortunate for that.
We'll never see that.
Right.
That champion does not exist.
But,
not allowed to exist.
Goose is putting a lot of pain down on this tower in the meantime. And Purple Cobras are really quickly, you know, having to find strategy here.
There's a lot of vision being cleared on that bottom side with the second oh, it's an Ocean Drake, just kidding, the UI with the second Drake coming up.
Goose most notably has a double Cinco Gazer's CS in this top lane right now. He is absolutely just... He's bullying him out of this lane at this point.
This is a Flame Horizon in the making.
Friction finds himself into the Dragon Pit. Backpack actually gets pulled out of there, but the smite goes over to the side of No Excuse. Lux ultimate comes through as they try to find something to happen. But Teej is going to turn it on to Friction. He has nothing to do. Steven Air slides in on the side, finds the kill onto Friction. Teej is going to get himself out of there, and Schism's going to walk away with everything here.
That is the dragon and a kill for them. I think the Pike, if the Pike jumps the wall there, he has, with the E damage, he can execute the Akali. There's no heal available. The Lucian was too low to step back up. Oh, splash at a Steam Editor. Respecting the luck damage. And the Ezreal coming over the wall. We do see a lot of pings going down there looking at the Xin Zhao, but it does not look like anything of any avail is going to happen there. Probably getting poked out here in the mid lane.
We see Friction has that stopwatch available. Arms by Friction. Is the stopwatch available?
It is now. Yeah. But I don't think he'll have to pop that anytime soon. He's got a low mana bar. He's just finished picking the wave out. He'll be back in. He is, yeah, roughly on his Ludens Echo. He's really close to it, but 400 gold off. He'll get it the next pack. My math is betraying me here. But don't do math on cast.
I would do it on the fly, but I also forget how much Ludens cost. Oh, we see the heal come out from Tomato Farmer as Friction finds the Q. Teej immediately responding with a flash, not wanting to deal with the follow there. Backpack is in a compromising spot, but he's also Alistair, so he's going to get himself out of there.
Just not punished. Didn't even have to ult there. Just cow things.
Oh man, how much more do I have to watch of this?
It could be the Warwick bug.
Single Gazer's doing what he can. This is really rough.
Oh.
He finds some skill trades, and I mean, he's still doing good damage as Scion.
It was a favorable trade for him this time, but oh, Aatrox does happen.
Champion has damage and sustain. It's wild. I don't know what to really say about it.
We do have a 3-man coming in through this top side.
Oh no!
You guys seen this out with the spotted this out. Kali looks to be on the chase. Could just be taking that away and trying to go for the first Plotera here. The Scion does have teleport, but has no back over the top side of the map. Just trying to stay.
Oh, we see Single Gazer. He's gonna flash over there. No, he's getting locked up by minions. We see Friction coming back. Goes for the Lux ultimate on the minions. It's might be enough. It is enough, actually.
For now.
Yeah, this is
gonna put a Kali in the mid lane. So we were path top. It was a favorable trade for Teej over onto the Ezreal for a Huck.
Ooh, Stevenator. Trying to find some more. Friction goes for the barrier. Stevenator getting locked up, but at the same time, Friction goes for the hourglass. Tries to flash away, throws a snare back, finds them both, but dies in the meantime.
Can't save himself, but saves the Amuma.
Friction
like consolation
forever. Oh, they try to find Cinco. They're gonna back off there.
First player tower blood does go to this Aatrox in the end, which is pretty problematic for the side of Purple Cobras, as he can kind of just tear through their entire line with percent health damage and just mass sustain. I don't think a Mumu alone will be able to hold this guy down. Looking at the Lux build, though, she went for a needlessly large rod over finishing Ludens.
Oh yeah. What was he gonna get off that? Oh, we're gonna. Whoa, Teej.
He's out.
Not quite finding the kill on Tomato Farmer there.
It was close. I don't know. Maybe this is a Spellbinder?
Rest
plus Lart Rod?
We seeing the Super Scyther special?
Maybe. But doesn't look very anymore. Actually, the Aatrox is just going to push in the mid lane. Zin is just kind of doing Herald off on his own. They just can't get into that area with all the vision they have.
It comes to on Goose. I don't really know if they want that.
Yeah, probably not, as he will just kill both of you. What is this gold loot looking like? So at this point in time, it is 2,400 gold up for this Aatrox over the Scion alone. That's farming for Split Tower for you.
Oh man. Yeah, it's a big lead looting up for Schism right here, and I mean they have the team that wants to transition into the mid game now, with the Lucian damage coming through and the threat of the Akali, you know, put together and no longer, you know, behind Purple Cobras here.
Okay. Akali's gonna start. I guess Akali is starting the sideline business, but you'd think that. Okay, they are backing to reset this. I'll change what I was saying.
Ooh, the Scion ultimate comes through, but Steven Air is gonna dodge it out.
So at this point in time, we'll see Schism setting up for the 1-3-1 with the Lucian and Alistar in the mid lane. Does Alistar at least have Mobius yet? He does not have his mobility boot. He finished his Sightstone item right away. I am not a fan of that. You don't get enough stats consolation. Oh! That's a dead Teej. Absolutely eviscerated by the Pike Flash hook into the Lux combo. So this will just be a dragon in the form.
They're gonna look for the dragon here. They are gonna find it.
The dragon going down. Looks like they're just going to look to reset, clear the vision, and try and get this bot side tower in consolation. You do see the Alistar down there, but it's against 3 members. He's not going to be able to do too much. Aatrox is back to the top side. Split. Kali's back. Man, that's a little odd. You'd think she would be going back bottom. Okay, they're trying to do a counter push in the mid lane with the Rift Herald.
Yeah, they're trying to make something happen here. The Rift Herald go through. They really, they see the Lux ultimate comes through on minions, and they don't really have a lot to answer here. But the tower is going to go down in the mid lane, and this is a real slow burn coming out for the side of Purple Cobras.
Doesn't look like they're getting 2 towers off this, but they will get the second charge and some poke onto it. Do you see a collapse coming towards the mid lane here as Lucian and Alice have roamed up? Pack is kind of waiting in the wings on the other side though. While we continue to have our Aatrox beating on the side.
Oh my lord. I get shades of Fire Emblem from watching this, where just Sword is just mercilessly beating Axe, and there's just nothing you can do about it. It's the weapon triangle, bro. I'm sorry.
One day.
One day.
Probably not, but one day.
Pull out the Sword Reaver. It'll all be better. Unfortunate. But on the back of that, we do see about a 4K lead now for the side of Schism. Much less bloody, much less, you know, bodies on the floor of this game. Only 10 kills going into the 20-minute mark. But we do see, you know, the tower advantage, the dragon advantage, just the CS advantage across the board. Schism is really, you know, picking up the quality of their game here, and really putting Purple Cobras in an uncomfortable position.
So now the Luden's Echo has been picked up for Lux, after delaying it for the extra component. So that's quite odd. Not something. I don't think he did this last time. I was just caught by the binding. Has to ult. I don't think it's very orthodox. Delaying your Ludens more. I guess Akali, who's just been pushing you in all in.
Right.
But just to notice, Akali has half these kills, and is now sidling against the Scion. Aatrox is now semi-group. He's doing Scuttle right now. He's going towards the mid lane. Maybe to try and find a pick in a skirmish. But you expect him to be in the side lane trying to put some pressure there. He's got the Youmuu's down. He's going for a fight.
Oh man, Tej running down Tomato. But so Scion runs right into Tej. Finds the heal, finds the hook, but the hook takes backpack there. Goose is in the back end trying to find somebody. Finds the knock on a Desolate Earth, but the knockback's going to go down a single gazer this time. They're trying to look for more. Gets locked up in the Aatrox cage. Friction is here, trying to get a good spot for an ultimate. Locks up the Aatrox, but he revives off the ultimate. They try to find Steven A, but Steven A is just sliding off into the back here. But no excuse comes back as Akali comes back through. The Lux ultimate gets canceled out by the Xin Zhao ultimate. Not finding the grand challenge damage.
Still nobody's died.
No one has died.
The Scion and the Aatrox tanking up all the damage.
The snare from the Lux, the E. No,
Master
no.
Curse? Nope.
Oh my lord. Someone die. Oh no. Someone. Oh, Friction goes for the over the wall. Doesn't find the Akali Star over the wall.
The
Friction
dash.
is standing on him. Ooh, misses the bandage to follow. And I think that at the end of the day, this might. Oh no, Cinco's here. They're looking.
He did Aatrox. This should be. Oh, he's a Flash.
Oh man. Ah, Desolate Earth doesn't quite find the hook he's looking for. Are we
Even
done
after
fighting
the
now?
extended Fight. Nope. Maybe?
Oh, come on, Steve. What are you doing? No, just be done fighting. Stop it.
And after all of that, 2-minute fight almost. A mid-tier 2.
Yeah, all of that for a mid-tier 2. I like it.
I'd call that worth. And a red buff evolution. Pretty good. Tej off to a much better start this game. Not having to claw his way back in from a 3-1 Tristana.
And no kidding, really showing off the getting hit on the solution and really showing this is a pick that he is not only very comfortable on, but very capable of, you know, just popping off on at the moment's notice. Finding a lot of these, you know, bursts in the center of fights where you say, hey, why are you trying to focus on the action of this tank engaging and this assassin behind you? I got 2 guns, and they're right here.
At this point in time, I think the Zen should just be giving the blue buffs over to Lucian. 1, funnel more XG into him. 2 gold. And 3, Lucian likes blue buff.
True. Very much. Skills and cooldowns. And mana. He happens to use a lot of all of those.
So, the thing is, if he gets any more ahead, I wonder if he goes Essence or 3rd item. If the game says like this, I think he just goes for the rapid fire cannon. But if any more extended fights where he might actually pick up a kill or 2, I could see him going for the Essence Reaver. Which could be pretty spicy, but of course, this is a what if. Akali's now finished the Lich Bane as well, by the way, so she's gonna be able to assassinate people a lot better into these scenes.
Sure.
Lux finished Source Boots, still sitting on that rod in Amp Tome, so we still don't know what that is. We can only assume it's a Spellbinder.
It has to be a Spellbinder at this point.
Is there another option?
The only other thing that builds out of Needless in my mind is Death Cap.
There's one other, isn't there?
There's Death Cap, there's
Maybe it's
Spellbinder.
2 now.
It's
Yeah.
just those two. So
Yeah,
the,
right, there's
only,
only 2.
the only other thing that he could be doing reasonably with that Amp Tome is trying to finish the Hourglass.
Because I'm just living back in the world where Death Cat or where Rod was in, you know, 6 item recipes.
No excuse is going to take that jungle. We're going to see a fight break here in the center of the action. Goose is trying to get into the center of everything, drops the box, locks up Single Gazer. Single Gazer trying to find somewhere to go. But the snare's going to come through and the ultimate is going to miss Tej, but it's enough anyway off the back of the Pike ultimate and the Single Gazer kill. Tej is going to go down here. The flash hook from Desolate Earth not finding its mark.
So I guess we could say at this point he's not going Essence Reaver.
No.
Oh! Moon all whiffing everybody.
Enough to get backpack out of there. Steven Air is still having the smoke for cover. And we see Single go try to do anything he can to Goose, and I think this man's going down. He's dead.
He caught that man without a tower.
Good. And we're going to... So I mean that was definitely a fight back on the side of Robo Cobras. They're gonna take the 1-for-1 and they're gonna try to rally up something in the mid lane, but we do see, you know, 3 dragons to none. I'm sorry, 3 dragons to 1 on the side of Schism. Just a lead still surmounting for them here at the 25-minute mark. They're sitting at about a 5k lead, and it's definitely going places for them. And they're finally gonna crack open another tower in their spot, shortening the lead from 4 to 2 on towers.
And this Lux is going to reset on another 1,500 gold off that fight after picking up the kill on the Alistair. We do see the Akali finally fishing tier 2 boots and with an Amp Tome. See where that goes soon. I'm assuming it's going to go towards like a Zanya or so. Oh!
I don't think this is going to go to a survive Tej. Teej is gonna take Friction out there. They're trying to find the kill on Teej, and Tomato Farmer is gonna find the ultimate to go through and get the kill down on Lucian. And Goose is here. I don't know if he wants to be here.
We're not through yet.
Never mind. He's got a huge sword. That is right where he wants to be, and that's a double kill coming through for this side of No Excuse. Singer is trying to get out of there, but that is just Aatrox damage coming through. Monstrous sidesteps the pike hook, and
the BM.
Lord Goose.
The BM recall dash.
Stop. I'm about it.
Like I said, they're on the Baron without Lucian. With Cinco's TP up, no wards, too close. Aside from that river brush, I don't see this going too well for them. That is it's a Baron.
Yeah, I think it's
side
though. And I believe Tej did, in fact, yeah, Tej was definitely up in time to have it himself, so that is going to be a full team Baron buff there.
This is quite the large lead coming in for the side of Schism. Might not look like as super big as like the previous leads we've seen this series, but for a snowball comp, dive comp with themselves, like we've seen, the Ezreal took over 800 damage from a single Aatrox Q in the last fight and just fell in a second and a half or so.
Man.
With Gauntlet.
Yeah. Armor is very, very relevant against Aatrox.
He does not have any protection against Zakali, aside from, a Mumu ult and Lux Shield, maybe a Binding. This is going to be a very self-peel oriented game for Tomato Farmer, if this can go the distance and scale. He's looking towards his Blade King. Hasn't opted for a second tier item yet, which is a little less of the norm these days. Or like as in not going for Bork third versus the second tier is a little less norm these days. As his W ratio and his ult ratio were both buffed on the AP side.
Right.
It's a 0.9 ratio, AP ratio on his ult now, from 0.5. So pretty big.
Usually ends up being major to go for the AP side, but valuing the sustain as much as he can in these fights. If he, gets engaged on and has to be put in a situation where he has the, kite back with Qs, doing what you can against some life back off. There's we see pings are going down massive in the mid lane. Friction trying to be the one to fight Goose here.
He's winning.
Drops the ultimate under tower. He definitely had it in the right spot, but I don't know how long it's gonna last. Problem. We'll see the ultimate come out from the side of Goose. He is just speeding on this Amumu, and that's going to be the death of Amumu.
Okay, maybe he's not winning this.
Yeah. And Desolator is going to go down and fall down to the passive. Desolator tries to give chase, but not going to be enough to get because of all the things that a tanky execute fighter disjointed hitbox guy needs. It's move speed. That was a sign ultimate. It went places.
Cinco just randomly kind of ulted, assuming he was trying to make a pick, maybe get the bot lane faster, and just kind of hit a wall.
He wanted to use the quick teleport. Ooh, the Lux combo into the Scion Q. And
that's how you stall a game.
The disappearance of Tej and Steve. Ooh, the flash. The flash blade coming through, but it's not enough to get to the flash of Goose.
Desolate did have flash. If he wanted to chase that down, he also has ult up. I think he could have gotten that if he wanted to chase it. Get on a Baron buff out the map, but that'll expire soon anyway.
By the way, that Needless did go into a death cap. Second item death cap. Friction's a man with ideas, let me put it that way.
I guess he decided to say, hey, I don't know what I really want here, but that looks cool.
I know eventually I will be putting a hat on my head, so why not put it sooner, because I really like hats.
Yeah. With no real reaction here, this is a pretty free dragon for them. Only Alistar's here. If Alistar steals that, they might as well forfeit now.
Reasonable. Don't say it just now, but...
He put the ward down and walked away.
I've seen some things in League of Legends, let me tell you.
Like Lucian W's.
Yeah. Lucian W's killing where the hitbox doesn't show. Ooh, the Lux Snare coming through. Not gonna make anything happen on the backpack, though.
Oh, now we're just kind of looking towards trying to find some top side, but they're spotted over the vision. Just kind of bleeding down Friction's camp. Unlike a couple other Amumu players in this league, he is realizing he needs to build armor and not go rallies third item
Reasonable.
when he's
I
already
have,
started.
I
other
have
camps.
absolutely no idea who you're talking about, but yes, definitely don't. He is
A
going to
couple
build
people,
into that.
couple people.
He is going to build into that and go a little bit forward now. We do see, just the Purple Cobras team fight trying to build up here, as we see just the tanky items coming through onto the Scion. Amumu having a lot more residual, having the Bramble Vest to deal with the incoming auto attack onslaught, and even the Iceborne Gauntlet, on the Tomato Farmer. Even though we didn't see it do anything particularly useful against Goose, it was a starting point for him. Having the sustaining with the Blade of the Ruined King is going to be that much more useful to him.
It's just a big thing that sucks here for Purple Cobras is they cannot get the Scion out into a side lane and trying to push waves because both the mid laner and the top laner can probably solo kill him at this point. I say probably because Akali isn't quite at 3 items yet. But by that point, I think she could probably take care of the Scion 1v1. So he's going to have a hard time getting farm soon. She can just sit there and pressure the side lane. Where... if this goes too much later, I think this Infernal Drake's going to start mattering. Where sure, Ezreal's going to be getting bigger and hitting his poke out carry potential. But,
What just happened to the red buff?
That was an interesting
Put that
animation.
back.
You see the Mumu Q? We were still tethered to him when it got kicked away by Scion. It was very odd. But anyway, going back to it, looks like they're trying to get Baron around Vision around Baron, as that's coming up in a minute. Zin's GA has now been completed. You see the Sterix coming on across the board, the QS is for the Lucian. And they're looking to try and push this out for the next fight. And again, I was wrong. This is not a Zanya next going for Frisian. This is an Oblivion Orb coming out of that amp zone.
Of course.
So he just wants all of the damages. Does not care against the 4 dive team.
There's no way they're going to engage on Frisian again at any point during this game, so he will be fine. He will find all the snare ult combos and kill everyone.
That is definitely how the cookie crumbles.
Just like that, where they all throw the skills into a bush, nobody lands on because there's a ward next to them, and they're going to walk it off.
Friction, finally getting a couple camps in his jungle. If you notice, like, the farm lead for this is just so massive over top of the Amumu. They've been bleeding him resources for probably the past, give or take, 20 minutes. Where the Akali's been taking his camps on cooldown, the Zin has been, Lucian's been even getting in on that kind of... Oddly enough, I haven't seen Aatrox take any of them. So you have more of a tank fight in the bottom lane.
Right.
Big 938 damage in the third Aatrox Q that didn't seem to even really hurt Sion.
Yeah, Sion's finally getting to the point where he's not terrifyingly worried about these Aatrox skills, but he's definitely doing enough to, make more than a dent in him so he can't stay in these fights for too terribly long.
If Goose is able to chunk out the Sion at all, though, his team will start the Baron, and they will be forced to commit somewhere. So half health Sion. I'm just kind of poking back for vision up here still. Just imagine a world here where Schism ended up with the Mountain Drakes and not the Ocean Drakes.
Yeah, this would definitely be them sitting super pretty at the moment.
Wow, did you see the heal just came out of that passive hit?
I don't want to look at it.
Ugly. They got the inside track on mid lane, and they're pushing out. They're going to go back, and there isn't even any vision in the Baron area for the side of Purple Cobras to be cleared at this point. Oh, look, keeping an Alistar.
Backpack gonna get hooked, but that is a meaty Alistar. He is gonna walk away without too much of a worry in the world.
She just says I can click one button and walk out, so it's okay. I don't need to see him. Yet. Baron has been started up, though. They're pinging hard on to it. Ezreal coming up. So they do know that they're on at this point.
Backpack's gonna make Energize. Oh, knocks aside Friction there. He's gonna have to flash over the wall as he gets turned on. But the Sign ultimate comes through into the face of no escape, and he's gonna actually escape with the rest of the team.
Aatrox?
And he's in the center of action. I didn't think he was gonna be dead there, and he's not. Trying to bite off a little more than he can chew.
I think they decided to not commit on him because they didn't want to have to pop the passive on his for his ult. With a chunked out Aatrox, you think they could have just tried to force another thing around the Baron.
Oh, Tomato Farmer! Wow, move from the map by Stevenator.
Akali is online, by the way.
Fortunate, yeah, having the Lich Bane and the Gunblade, just an absolute stroke of genius in terms of burst damage. It just knocks you out before you can even respond.
Well, so much for forcing the 4v5. They decided to take a 1v1 and just... We won't even call it a 1v1 at that point.
Another knockout from backpack. Oh, on top of Stevenator this time, though. But Friction's going to find the return kill into the Akali. Nal's going to drag that back. Oh, Tej.
And a play.
I need the single gazer there. Oh no, Tej is there. Oh no. He's gonna cut through this team. Cuts through the pike. We see Lux getting turned on by Tej, or getting turned around on by Tej. Who is
you want to save Lux there? Was Zanya?
Yeah. Heck, even a Spellbinder for the move speed probably would have been a little better. But you know,
yeah.
Just for that.
Just cannot believe there's not. What is he building towards now? Just control words. Okay. He just doesn't have much gold in his pocket at the moment.
Yeah, he's gonna want by the Aquas.
So he does do a lot of damage, but this is a Mercurial Scimitar finished Lucian. Mind you, he's kind of just inted right there a little bit.
Here's Cinco trying to get on the cookie.
You can't hurt me anymore.
Over the wall. No, not terribly scared of
this. Lucian is now on the map. They do this not terribly fast. Aatrox coming in.
Goose trying to find Tomato Farmer. Decides the Desolate is going to be good enough. Cinco's trying to be in the front of things, trying to make things happen, trying to get through. Friction is in the center of the fight. 1 KHP Dragon. He might make this happen. No, the Dragon's going to get taken over. But the Lux ult comes through and everybody sidesteps just far enough that nobody dies. And we see the flash comes through from Cinco Gazer, but Stevenator is already there, smoke through the wall. We see the Hourglass come in. Not quite enough to happen, as everybody's going to back off.
15 HP. That Elder Dragon was stolen away by Stevenator.
Oh my lord.
Friction did not even smite.
Oh. Wow.
Didn't get a chance to. Neither jungler did.
I have a different set of words then, but unfortunate. It will be the one that I choose.
You're on the Baron with the Elder buff. This is going to be pretty fast to double the Infernal buff.
Yeah, this should really work out for him. Tej's on the side here. That's just a lot of true damage coming through on their side. The snare comes through, the ult comes through on Aatrox, and I really don't think it's enough at this point. Cobras is just way too far behind. This is what we saw from Schism Game 1. They drafted the comp that had the ability to outplay and outmaneuver the side of Cobras, but their plans fell apart. What they wanted just never came to fruition, and I think that this is slow burn territory here for the side of Cobras.
This is how it looked like when Lux died to the Aatrox burn. Almost time. I'm looking on the side. Knows he can't really take that though. Has ultimate still.
Sign ultimate's gonna come in. They're looking for Tej here. The Pike ultimate comes through. It's not enough to find the kill. As you see Tej go down to Tomato Farmer.
Tej just kind of killing himself again. He is now 45% of his team's deaths at this point. Not exactly the number you're looking for as an AD carry, especially when your top laner and your jungler both have 0. You're kind of making this a little more difficult for your team than you need it to be, especially when you're the damage dealer. Or supposedly the big damage dealer. The GA was popped on Aatrox in that last fight, so that'll be down coming forward to the next fight. And this Aatrox, to round out his full build, he went Mortal Reminder.
Well, there you go. You're going to cut the healing of the Ezreal and, you know, the passive healing over time of the Scion through most of the more tanky masteries. And makes it a lot, you know, the anti-shoot me tech that he has against the Ezreal at best. Looking forward.
Yeah, Ezreal's at a 4-item spike. He's got a BF sword, which you can only imagine is going towards a GA. I don't think any other item here would make sense. But who knows? Because there's still no Azania on the Lux.
I want to see it. I like that Lux can read a book, but I think she can do so many more things with it. But we do see the hook come through on her backpack. It's not going to find anything. And this Baron shove, I mean, we've seen this. We've seen what happens here. This is just going to be, you know, a slow whittling down of Cobra's towers until one side snaps, and one side makes something happen here, I think.
Yeah, the only thing you can hope for coming out of this right now is a perfect team fight coming out of the side of Purple Cobra. Or else everything's kind of written in blood at this point.
Give me one of those GXPC throws. We see the Lux ultimate come through off the back of a Desolate Earth hook. It moves Alistair a little closer.
The 1-3-1 is engaged, and they're winning all 3.
Ooh, Friction tries to drop the ultimate on Stevenair, but he's inside the shroud. The Pike finds the hook. They might get the kill on a Stevenair. He slides out with his ultimate to get around the Scion Q. But Scion goes to the ultimate, realizes he has to turn around, and a movement goes down. There's nothing they can do. It's the base of Purple Cobras being destroyed right away. As Schism is rampaging through the base, there's no answer for them as they get around here, and they take the game. Game 3 goes to Schism Esports. It's 2-1 Schism going forward.
Amumu, near the end there, got absolutely one-shot by the Akali. For MR, he has a Abyssal Mask. That's it. That hurts.
I would say, if Iceborne's not enough armor for Aatrox, then Abyssal Mask is not enough MR for Akali. I think it's fair to say.
Also, I guess I've been rapping on Frisian a little bit too much here. I guess Zanya, like, I think it would have been good here, but with the lack of damage they have with their comp, I guess not going it kind of makes sense to try and make up for that.
I'm not looking at Spellbinder and saying, get that out of my game. That's all I'm saying. I don't think, he didn't have Spellbinder. I'm lying to you. He went Deathcap second, which is also questionable.
Should have been Morello second.
Yeah.
If not, yeah.
I think that most of that game, and I think a lot of the early game, was Schism not being given respect in these lanes. I mean, you saw people die solo with Summoners still up and available, which these players are much more capable of, the presence of mind to know when to use their Summoner spells. And I think just overconfidence perhaps on the part of Purple Cobras, and seeing if they can reallocate a little bit of that and pull together going forward. But
I feel their draft it fell apart here. I liked their draft a lot more last game, that's for sure. They just kind of strayed away from that and said, play what you want to play, and didn't have a direct win condition here. Like, yeah, sure, you have Scion, that's a good pick. Yeah, Ezreal, that's a really good post rework. And then you have an Amumu, a Lux, and a Pike to pair with an Ezreal.
Right.
What is, like, sure, you have a couple AoE team fighters there, but like, Ezreal's not the best champion to back that up with when your mid lane sustained damage, quote unquote, is a Lux. You have a lot of burst, sure, and poke, but that's all you're gonna get. That's not gonna work too well against a hard engage comp that came out of the side of Schism. We've got Alistar on red side, I'm gonna go ahead and point out. Along with Aatrox.
Definitely. Kind of a mess. I think that they definitely want to not allow some of the same tools. The Aatrox is absolutely a menace in the top lane, and I mean, seeing it beat out Cinco's Poppy, not as okay, that's gonna happen. Seeing it beat out the Scion and just absolutely crush it in lane was not something they'd want to have happen, because that is Cinco's one of Cinco's flagship.
I believe he had a Flame Horizon at a point in time.
Most likely. I mean, we saw near the beginning of the game he was already down double CS, so I would not be surprised at all for that to happen. But all of that being said, that is going to be the wrap for Game 3 here. So we do have Schism up 2-1 to the Purple Cobras. And as for your casters, Trick will still be with you, but Skyson, I will be tagging out for Game 4 and 5. We'll be bringing in another caster and hoping to... We will be joined here shortly after the break by Rebel Fox. So look forward to Game 4. I'm heading out for now. Hope you guys have a great rest of the series and a great night. But have a word from just have a break, and then we'll be back for Game 4.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. We're in semifinals. We've got Schism Esports up against PPC, and Schism currently has a 2-1 lead. I'm stepping in for Skyson. I'm Rebel Fox, and here with me is Trick doing the color casting. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been a pretty lengthy series. That last game was pretty long and drawn out, a little dreary. But it did result in a Schism coming up in a 2-1 series leading into this one.
Yeah, stepped in to watch the last couple games, and it's been really exciting so far. Hopefully, we can see PPC take this to 5 games, but Schism certainly doesn't want that.
It's been an absolute slugfest for sure. Getting into the pick ban.
Yeah,
do you want to run? You want to run down the Schism roster?
Sure. Yeah. Schism went Victor top, something we've seen a little bit in the in LCS and in solo queue. But Victor top, we have Camille jungle, Aurelia mid lane, Tristana at ADC, and Alistar in the support role.
Yeah, on the side of Cobras, we got Sion back in the top up for Singer Gazer. No Aatrox this time. As we can see, that was the first ban that they've thrown. We have a more active early game jungler coming out of Friction for Lee Sin here. He did opt in for Dark Iris post Nurse with this one. Considering he was looking for early game pressure, I probably would have opted for Electrocute myself, but it's to each his own playstyle. We also have Frisian coming with a Syndra pick, the first time he's played that this series, as he's been kind of jumping between Lux and Veigar for the most part. We also have a Lucian Braum for a pretty rounded out, really strong bottom lane coming in for Schism, or for Purple Cobras. I am very, very happy with this adaptation for Purple Cobras draft. It is so much better than their previous draft.
Yeah, I saw some of their previous drafts, and they haven't been doing so well, but this one's certainly one that fits a lot of their playstyles very well. Yeah,
when it comes to the Schism side, though, this Camille pick is kind of a question mark for me. It doesn't duel Lee Sin very well early on. It's a Sion top lane, so that's a neutralized lane. You're not really going to be ganking there. Aurelia, that's probably where we're going to see a lot of the action for this Camille early on, looking for level 2 ganks and such. But without a Galio or a Shen maybe, or maybe even a Nocturne, this Camille's going to have a really hard time getting to the back line and staying alive with all the damage coming out of the Schism comp. Or, Purple Cobra's comp.
Absolutely. Love to see how Friction paths around the map as well with this Lee Sin pick. And of course, I think Tomato Farmer, this is the first time he hasn't played Ezreal in the series, something like that. So
yeah, he played the first game. It was Tristana.
Yeah. So
and first traded picks. Lucian's been the big pick this series.
Yeah.
The excellent strong balling with Lucian Braum. This Tristana pick, gotta say, haven't been a fan of the series, but they do have Alistar, which of course has been very big. Yeah. And has won every game in the series so far, to my remembrance anyway, with the breaks we've had. And with that, I think we're ready to go into game.
Yeah, absolutely. Do we take a break? Yeah, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll get right into the game for you guys. Stick around.
My name is Tim Borseth, and I own and operate Games XP in Decorah, Iowa. Games XP is a geek paradise. We carry everything from Pong and Atari all the way to Xbox One and PS4, and all the games that would go with those consoles as well. We also carry a ton of movies. We have handheld games. We have Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. We have D&D and Pathfinder. We carry Warhammer 40K. We have a vintage Star Wars selection. This place is great. My wife and I have had 6 kids, and they are so much fun to work with here at the store. They run the store as much as I do.
And we now repair cell phones, game consoles, computers, and small electronics.
Our store is instant fun. Not only is there cool music and cool stuff to look at, but we have a game room that is so much fun. It's free to play, and you just plug in your game system and enjoy life. The Game XP motto is bringing joy to people's lives through our products, people, and a place to play. So you have got to come to Decorah, Iowa, and check out Games XP and experience this geek gaming paradise.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Schism versus PPC semifinals. I can't believe how long of a season it's been. It felt like it just started yesterday, and here we are already on the brink of finals. And Schism looking to lock in that final spot so that they can win this league. They've been looking pretty good through this series. Talk to us a little bit. Update me at least. I've watched the games, but update me a little bit on how this has been going.
So far, for Cobras, this has been really it's been the friction show. It's been live or die with the friction show. Like game 1, he brought the cane, dropped an 11 in one performance. Game 2, they kind of blundered, where he went to the Xin Zhao, didn't work out very well. Game 3, again, didn't work out for himself very well. Now we're here on the Lee Sin, where he's going back to that super early game. He's got pretty decent gank assistance in every lane. This is going to be just, you got to see how he's going to control this early game. And hopefully he's going to find those early fights if he wants to bring this back to a 2-2 series for the Purple Cobras.
Absolutely. Taking a look down both sides of the rosters, we've already broken it down just a little bit in terms of picks bans. We see Dark Harvest on Lee Sin, pretty expected. Kleptomancy is the preferred keystone of that top lane Victor as well, so nothing too surprising. We do see Frisian taking that exhaust out of the mid lane, trying to prevent some of that Akali damage, but other than that,
Really, yeah.
all in all, pretty standard stuff.
Yeah. Definitely a really respectful exhaust take for the Syndra here into the Irelia. I don't per se like the fact that he went Comet, but I think Electric Q plus Cheap Shot is much better with her, with this inspiration set. Also, note, Friction is ganking top lane now.
Yeah, Friction just that level 2 gank. He jumps up there. They see Friction does land the Q onto the Victor. He's going to follow it in under tower, but too much. The Victor is able to get out there with the use of his flash, but Friction also burning his flash. So just trade of flashes. Now we see Excuse come up here. Cinco prevents we see Frisian actually get a kill there onto the opposing top laner. That Victor was just too low and got engaged upon by Friction. Great job by him. Kind of stalled out from No Excuse, and the TP back for the Victor already to try to negate some of that loss, but he's back in the lane now.
I think that's just what you call getting jebaited there by your teammate there. You just step back up to try and lend some assistance to No Excuse and just kind of fell over.
Yeah, kind of a shame. They really could have put Friction behind with that failed gank. I mean, he went under tower, was really couldn't go back to jungling immediately, and then they just give over the kill. They gave over some more lifesteal, and then he walks out with that gold. So kind of a shame for the side of Schism, but not unrecoverable, just a poor start.
And
Cinco,
when it comes to they're getting a fight, yeah.
He's got to get out of this. I hope. Nope, he's not going to. Scion beating up that Victor top lane right there.
Oh, maybe this isn't a very practiced pick for the Goose. He's going melee with a Scion. Probably not the best idea.
Level 2. Also, I didn't see whether he did laser second, but I know out of top lane you typically don't want to see that. Yeah, you want to see the W second.
Interesting. Yeah. Also, another thing I wanted to point out early on here, because we do see Lisa looking for an invade again. To the Camille, he's going over the wall. Could be with the insta flash.
Absolutely.
Upon seeing Lisa.
The pressure already put out by Friction is pretty. It's indicative of what would be a better game for PPC in this series, at least so far. So that's good for them.
Yeah, we haven't even seen him go bottom side yet.
Yeah, that's where a lot of the point of contention, the Braum Lucian, along with that the Lee Sin, could really have a positive effect in this game. But looks like he's putting a lot more focus towards this Victor pick, trying to shut it down.
Pretty good job so far.
Yeah, lots of trading here in the bottom lane. Tomato Farmer or Desolate Earth just trying to put as much pressure down on the Alistar or Tristana as they can, having that superior lane. Frisian keeping Stevenator under that turret, not let him go anywhere right now.
Yeah, so far with how he's been playing this lane, you'd think he almost could have just taken Ignite and have already had it killed by now. But of course it is Irelia.
More trading everywhere. I do, like, I have to give Frisian a little bit of respect taking the exhaust. I remember we were talking about, you guys were talking about last game, not taking that Zonia's Hourglass, not doing that defensive build, going right for the Rabadon second. It's something Frisian likes to do out of the mid lane, but sometimes not the best option.
Another gang top.
Shut down. Yeah, it should be shut down. Goose Daddy. Oh, he's going to tank that Q, though, and he's going to go down. That's 3 deaths on the Victor top already. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, tell us again how he probably hasn't practiced this pick very much. Go ahead.
I think there was more so that we have.
Oh, yeah, we got a fight. Excuse tries to gets caught with his hand in the cookie jar and gonna go down to Tomato Farmer trying to take that blue buff away. Going the way of Frisian too. Oh my goodness. Bad goes to worse for the side of Schism.
And that was the first blue buff for the red side to be picked up. That was still a level 1 blue buff because it had not been touched this late in the game.
Yeah,
as like Camille's red is about to come back up.
Lee Sin just doesn't want that blue, and after ganking that top side so many times, it's just a rough thing to have to deal with. Goose Daddy is currently only level 4 to the level 6 of Scion already, but we see Aurelia coming around for a gank here.
I don't know if that's wise.
And the ultimate, and it's shut down.
I don't think he even needs to do that. It's a level 5 Aurelia.
Yeah, level 5 Aurelia and a level 4 Victor. Now level 5 Victor, but certainly not something to be terrified of as a mostly full health Scion. We see more action in the river. Let's see if anything comes of this. Friction gonna get the slow down. The ultimate knocks him back into the team. Cinco picks up his 3rd kill this game. Oh my goodness, PPC playing insane in this one.
This is just what we'd call traditional Purple Croca's gameplay, where they just seem really out of whack and just shut down with their picks in the last couple games, trying to be more passive. They are a team that just thrives on their calculated aggression in the early game, which is what we're going to call this.
Calculated aggression. It's a good term for it. I think other regions would like to call it, I forget what it's called. What is it?
Fiesta?
Yeah, Monkey. The exhaust instantly out of Frisian to prevent this Aurelia from bursting him. Friction's here. This is the Q, not going to be able to re-aggress on this. Should help his mid laner get some of that farm and then get a get back. Yeah.
I think Friction has farmed more lanes than he has his own jungle at this point.
Yeah, 36 CS, certainly good enough to at least keep him above his opposing jungler. He's 1-0-2 with 36 CS, 12 CS advantage, plus those successful ganks over No Excuse right now.
In this particular matchup, it was all about who other team out first and who could steal more camps. So since the Lee Sin ended up getting his team out first, he was able to take away, I believe he took away the wolves on the side of... Is that an execute?
No Excuse might get executed here.
That would be the second execute of the series, as Tomato Farmer actually executed on Tristana early in the series.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, definitely Clown Fiesta is what I would say for this. But yeah, so far PPC has just been insanely dominant in this one. Taking up this early Infernal is definitely not going to help the side of Schism. Victor has not even scraped an upgrade yet.
He hasn't been able to go back on it. He's been backing like 500 gold every time. Or dying. And having nothing. I believe the return gank at level with his 2nd death, he had just gotten back to lane. So he like just straight died and got maybe 1 crate before he got die.
Yeah. He got die. No, yeah, that's definitely what happened. What's the value of this Victor pick then in that case? If you're just gonna, not gonna be able to handle pressure like this.
Yeah, he wanted to try and get early. Oh, the sun's gonna take away. Okay, smited away. Good.
Yeah.
It's just he wanted to try and poke and farm early, get some stabilize the lane against Cinco, because we know Cinco's a really aggressive player, no matter what he's playing on. If we exclude that game where he played Scion in the Aatrox and last game, that just didn't happen, right? Fresh mindset here. Going back on the aggression with the Scion, he's 3-0 against this counter pick. Victor now has gotten his first Hex Core upgrade, by the way. Which, can we see? He did go Q upgrade.
Yeah, it should be Q upgrade. It's really good in these melee versus ranged matchups. Helps him kind of, navigate around the opposing top laner if that top laner doesn't have a 3-kill advantage.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Scion has a 3-kill advantage, so that's certainly not going to help him all that much.
Do you see at least in the bottom lane trying looking for a gank, but was on a ward, just walks out. The Tomato goes in anyway.
Oh man. If Tomato Farmer's out of mana here, though, we're going to see Friction goes in the flash kick. Bro, Deslayer under tower trying to get the kill. He's going to pick it up too. Kill onto the Tristana. The the wild aggression out of the bot lane to make sure Tristana dies in that case was really good. Still a 1-for-1 trade where Tristana does pick up a kill, so probably not a positive trade, but
Brown just said mine and went for it.
Yeah, that's what you want out of your support, though. You got to confirm that kill, get that 50 gold over your ADC. That's what they need.
This must feel so bad for the Victor right now. He's a champion that you bring to the top lane to be able to push in and neutralize the top lane matchup, but he's being pushed in by the enemy.
Yeah, being pushed in, going down CS, going down kills. You have Frigid up here now to push him off even further. Oh my goodness. Every ounce of pressure they can put onto this Victor is being applied right now.
And as Camille doesn't have her Tiamat to be able to power farm or even more damage for ganks.
Yeah. Only like a 2,000 gold lead right now for the side of PPC. It feels like so much more. Frisian getting go under tower. The Zonias, I think it's actually an hourglass, but still should help them survive that one. Yeah, great job by Frisian. That defensive itemization to keep him alive in this one.
He is now stopwatch the same amount of times he did last game. And now he's solo kill.
Yeah, I think he might have overestimated his damage. You see Friction in that mid lane. Oh, he gets ulted. MC he might kick away, no excuse. The TP coming in from Cinco, though.
I don't know about this one.
Yeah.
Oh, he's dead.
Oh!
Red
I think
Smite.
it was the red buff from No Excuse was the one that was what killed him there?
He had the Red Smite.
Yeah, Red Smite, my apologies. But yeah.
Red buff wore after in the fight, I believe.
A shame, but still.
Everyone helped.
Excuse.
This is definitely an odd one. Lee Sin's got such a large advantage.
X-Flash!
Oh.
Oh. The Venus, still the ult coming out. Backpack has his ultimate, though. It's probably not going to be that much. Still going to go down to Tomato Farmer. Good job there. He's going to, TJ's going to get stunned up. Tomato Farmer is going to be able to pick up the kill without dying to the tower.
What are they doing?
Jeez.
They both walk back forward and just kind of said, "Here, take me."
I'm sorry. I can't get past the fact that Alistar missed the Hex Flash by a wide mile, and Tomato Starmer still flashed out of the way.
He respected Flash, so I mean...
that is the most respectful of Flash. Like, he missed the Hex Flash, and then Q'd, missed his Q, started walking back towards the tower, and then Tomato Farmer flashed out of the way.
On the other hand, at least Camille now has her Tiamat. She can now start farming Raptors.
Start farming Raptors? Thank goodness.
Yeah, with Camille, if you try doing Raptors before you have Tiamat, you lose, generally speaking, 75% of your health unless you instantly smite the big one.
Is that on first clear? Or is that on like second, third clear?
First and second clear if you don't have Tiamat.
What if you start Talisman
doesn't do it now.
and you go W?
The W just doesn't
you can apply the Talisman passive to everyone.
Are you going to take Talisman on Camille?
I mean, I don't know.
No.
I don't play Camille jungle.
It's not. You'd be forfeiting a lot.
Alright. I was curious.
Yeah,
We're
your sustain all comes from the machete.
I got
That's
it.
what solo camps. So
Okay.
this is why she's one of the few junglers that are good at killing Gromp specifically.
Ooh. The E4, yeah, stun everywhere, fighting all over the place. Tomato Farmer getting aggressive, has his board completed. The Berserker Greaves BF sword done for Tristana. Still advantages basically across the board, except for that mid lane where that solo kill did occur. Non-stop aggression. Yeah. Anything interesting happening with itemization yet? Has anybody done anything cool?
Nothing too out of the ordinary. The Scion went adaptive helmet here. You think he might have gone Spear Visage, just because of how much he can heal off his W.
Something like that. Maybe the ultimate from Victor. It just gets shut down by the.
Yeah, his ult won't do much. His Q won't do much.
Probably. Yeah.
It definitely makes sense.
Yeah, it's logical. Yeah, especially with this build that he's going, because he's not maxing his Hex core. He's going right for what looks like Iceborne. So he's not going to have like any AP. So having this adaptive helm is going to shut out his ultimate entirely. It's going to be entirely worth his ability against the Scion at least. And pull the Dragon out, see what they can do there.
The relatively standard builds everywhere else. I still don't like the fact that both these supports finish their support item full and done before they start any other item. It's just not gold efficient. You don't get enough stats to really do that. Or you could start, like, say, with Alistar, you could start Righteous Glory or a Locket for some, and you still get better stats. Oh, we also see a
Friction, he gets ulted away by TJ, gets the ultimate off, able to shut down. TJ backpack has to ult out, but he still might go down. Friction still taking tower, Tomato Farmer attacking, and they're going to have to pull out there. Still great kill. Oh, no excuse. He flashes into it. Going to get stunned up here by Braum passive, but that second Q killing Tomato Farmer. And now Desolate Earth is on the run, trying not to die. The Ignite is on. Backpack is here. No excuse. Going to whiff that E. Still probably going to go down. Desolate Earth still alive. And nobody on Schism dies for that. But still
first tower. First tower went down. First tower just went down as well.
In mid lane? Is that what it was? Yeah.
Yeah. Fine, went forced down.
So this
but
they will trade it. Oh, no, it's not! Uh-oh.
Oh,
goodness. Just the ult, he's what, 40% health now? That's terrifying.
Victor has flash.
Victor does have flash, so this probably means nothing in the grand scheme of things, but still. Oh, that ultimate cancels his Q. Except that he just wasted his ultimate to cancel a Q.
He would have died if he didn't.
Probably.
He would have died in the knockup.
Yeah. At least he didn't burn his flash. That's a good thing. Quite a few other people would have lost their lunch and probably would have just burned their flash there to prevent the Q from happening. But ultimate coming out, at least solid knowledge from Goose Daddy to be able to do that.
We can see them on the Rift Herald.
Yeah, Friction's on that Rift Herald right now.
Just nobody's in the area.
Alright. What we have here?
Do you see the Rift? Yeah.
Yeah, Friction taking it.
Vision goes down. Lee's looking another gank in the top lane. This is a pretty dead Victor.
Yeah, most likely he still has flash.
Okay, they missed everything.
We're gonna be able to see. No excuse. Misses the E. Friction kicks him back in. Goose Daddy has to use his stopwatch there. Unfortunately, Friction's a little bit behind. Sync flashes the wall. Gonna avoid that. And Friction! Oh my goodness. So he prevents the no excuse E. We're gonna have to see Friction gonna still have to fight Stevenator here. And flash that stun. Goose Daddy stuck over the side of the wall. Yeah, great disengage by that side. Still lose their jungler though. Friction unfortunately going down.
With that coin flip things, they are trying to trade back a mid tower, but I think Friction is still healthy enough to keep us going down.
Yeah, absolutely. Has the wave as well, and the TP coming out from Cinco Gazer. Still, TJ taking a ton of his health, and now Backpack probably going to die here to the Lucian. Yeah, this bot tower is now at risk of going down. The Aurelia roaming down to try to prevent that, but not convinced it's going to happen here.
Good map awareness saying the Aurelia is missing, getting them out of that. Again, this is why I said that this Tristana pick is just not good in Lucian. It just does not have the lane presence early to be able to stand up to the dueling power of it, or even in the 2v2, because Braum, strong, probably arguably the strongest 2v2 support in the game.
Especially with that Lucian passive, being able to proc that stun all the faster with those double shots, really makes it a force to be reckoned with in that bot lane. Yeah.
As great as Alistar is, it's very hard to measure in lane against this kind of 2v2.
Absolutely. Alright, quick update. We'll go through items once again. We see that Victor's still stuck on that Sheen. Has a full inventory right now because he has, the Corrupting Potion, the Dark Seal, all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, just buys the second portion of an Iceborne right now. Siren's going to be pushing that top lane. He's going back towards that Sunfire Cave. Nothing else really to speak of. Yeah, everything's pretty tactical at this point.
This is a dead Braum. Maybe? No. Already in close to releasing, gets him out.
Oh man, no excuse! I'm gonna go down to that Syndra. Fantastic job keeping their Braum alive. Yeah, Desolate Earth was able to get out of that situation really well. And then picking up the trade kill onto No Excuse. This Rift Herald could definitely be dropped if they really want to apply pressure here. Sion picked up that top tower. No, he already had that top tower, never mind. Here comes Aurelia. Aurelia probably going to look for something here. Not sure if they can fight in the 3. Yeah, with TJ being so low, I guess he's just here to try to prevent them from just pushing down every tower in this bot lane. The Rift Herald being spawned. Alistar being zoned and now going to die for it. Does come up and cancel.
Oh.
Friction gets another one, kicks Stevenator into the wall. Stevenator going to get stunned and dies to Tomato Farmer. Yeah, easy, clean plays here from the side of PPC. Now have 3 dead in the wake of the Rift Herald being dropped. Now Syncagazer also in the bot lane. This Victor probably won't be able to do anything. They're just going to walk in and take this inhib at 20 minutes in the game.
Yeah, that's just going to walk right in here with the Rift Herald, take everything and anything. Forcing onto him. There's nothing that this Schism team right now can do to stop. Well, they can next to Purple Cobras walking away anyway. Well, next.
Yeah, walking
they're gonna
around.
just back up and get the dragon. This is also an
Infernal Drake. Yeah, this is another Infernal Drake for this already strong team.
It always shows Infernal. It's Ocean though.
Oh, it is. Oh, it always shows Infernal. Yeah, my apologies. Yeah. Still
Replay client.
I suppose. Looks like Schism's going to try to respond by pushing in this mid lane. Syndra might be... Yeah, Syndra's got plenty of health and plenty of mana to work with, so she's going to be able to clear this real fast. Oh my goodness, that damage coming out. TJ goes down. 1Q, 1E, 1 ultimate. Now the Aurelia misses the ultimate. Has to get out of there. Stevenator. Friction's able to hit the E, but he's not going to get anything else. Friction tries to get close to Stevenator. Stevenator trying to dive into the backline. Frisian might die to the next house, but it's a trade kill.
He got him. That's impressive.
Yeah, good trade at least by Stevenator, but that's, you know, the Syndra who went Rabadon second also. Frisian, man, I love you. But the Rabadon second is less gold efficient than another item.
This game, it's like not as bad.
Yeah.
Last game when they were behind and he still did it.
You really can't do that from behind. And like he was not ahead in this game for a while, so it's still shocking to see him do this kind of build. Still winning the game. That trade kill for the Aurelia is about as good as they're going to hope for in these situations. Cinco is huge right now. Tomato Farmer is huge right now. This is a difficult team to deal with.
Just backing or spending their gold. We can see this going towards the Baron here. Tristan's kind of just trying to push the mid lane out. They're not even looking to try and get any vision on this. Alistar's still in the base. I guess he's waiting gold for something.
Yeah, most likely.
But this is just free time that they can rotate back and get into the Baron area. Eros only leaving base now.
Yeah, if they wanted to, they just all got off of base. They could go right to the Baron and fight it right this second. They have that bot lane inhib pushed in constantly, and the Victor is just not strong enough to deal with all of the super minions flooding into the base. I would say that there's definitely a chance that they could do this.
Well, Tej didn't get caught there. That was close, at least. That does not give them the free Baron away. We clear that division out here, but they're just kind of death rushing the hell out of the Cobras right now. They're just going to sit here and look for it. They're going to get the top lane pushed in, and then I can see them just instantly starting this Baron with the waves pushed in. Victor's going to have to answer this bottom lane. He's going towards the top side, so they're abolishing. Oh, they're going on the Tej.
Oh, there we go. Tej going to be able to hit that. And No Excuse also stuck here, and that is not a guy you want to go down. No Excuse.
He's dead.
Take another Q, and there it is. Friction gets the kill onto the opposing jungler. That should mean Baron, as long as they don't lose this topside fight any worse than they need to. Stevenator trying to make something happen. The Victor dropping the ultimate. And Scion's able to get out. They might actually turn this one. Tomato Farmer walking towards Goose Daddy on the Victor. Yeah, the rest of the team coming in here. They just want to walk out to Baron, take their prize for the jungler dying.
I'm just going towards the Baron. They have no jungler to really contest this. They're just giving it up.
Yeah.
Honestly, just how far ahead they are now. We're looking at a 8,000 plus gold lead now. Yeah, I don't think this one's comebackable. I think you start thinking about a game 5.
I'm thinking about game 5, yeah. Multiple thousand gold advantage, about 3,000 gold in just the bot lane position alone, let alone that advantage that has been accrued across the rest of the members of this team. About 2,000, 2.5, 1.5 here and there on every champion. Give some credit over to Friction in this one, made that early game happen, and Tomato Farmer just popping off through this mid game. Been a great game for this team. We've seen them struggle in 2 games now, but it's good to see their kind of style come out here again.
This has been an absolutely bot slash. I would say this is a bot centric game. Even with Friction having some pop off games, I think it's still easy to say it's a bot centric. Just because when it comes to these late game fights and such, and just how the games have panned out, we've seen snowballs either start in the bottom lane or get into there. as we've seen in the very first game of the day, we've seen the Friction pop up. That was like the one jungle-centered game we've had. After that, it's been whose bottom lane is beating him. Who's gotten the Lucian.
And certainly priority bot lane was over to the side of PPC in this one, just pushing down mid with this Baron buff. I don't think they have that Schism has the ability to push out. Let's see if anything kind of happens. This Syndra has terrifying prospect on this siege.
Lee Sin has gotten Titanic Hydra to be a little bit more tanky in these fights. Tarsi can just try and opt going towards. Yeah, always go.
Backpack with a huge engage into the backline, the W, or the flash W, and the Q. He's going to ult a little bit late, not going to be able to get anything else. And the Syndra ultimate's going to take down TJ as well. This should probably be the end, unless Stevenator can get a lot more, but Friction able to get out, and this should be the game. Goose Daddy taking the Q from Braum. He should go down to the Lucian here. No excuses, trying to make things happen, but he's going to go down too. That is an ace, and that is the game, most likely. Definitely for PPC with this Baron buff.
The game. Now we gotta start looking towards Game 5 here. They rallied back from this 2-2 or 2-1 deficit. You can see what happens now.
Yeah, what an exciting series! Now 5 games total. I mean, I would ask you to diagnose what happened in this one, but honestly, it just seemed like nobody made Stevenator. Stevenator was the only one that was even competitive in his lane.
It was a complete whitewash. Friction took over early, and then Tomato Farmer said, I got this, and just kind of took over it with Desolate afterwards.
Yeah, the one hope that they had was maybe the Victor or the Aurelia pop off. The Syndra was enough to eliminate that mid lane pressure, and obviously those ganks just shut down the Victor and was essentially worthless for the entirety of the game. All right, well, we're going to take a short break here. We're going to take a short break here, and when we come back, we will bring you Game 5 of the semifinals between PPC and Schism. Don't touch that browser. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are in Game 5 of semifinals between Schism and PPC. It's gone the distance, and it's been a great series. I don't know. What do you think is going to happen in this final one?
Well, let's start by looking at this pick, Ben, before we say what we think is going to happen here.
All right.
Go ahead and run us down, Schism.
All right. Well, okay. That's Zillion top. I assume that got traded. So I assume that it's an Ornn top, a Kindred jungle, Zillion out of the mid lane, Varus at ADC, and Rakan in the bot or at the support role.
And we see Cinco Baser back on that Scion for the third game in a row. He's been a staple in the top lane. He's been a real rock up there. This time we see Friction on the Camille. As we've seen, that didn't go too great in the last game for no excuse. It was okay. It wasn't great. We see Frisian going back to that Vanguard that he played in Game 3. It was a loss, but I don't think he played badly.
Yeah.
I just think there could have been a better pick in that game. Here, they got damage to compensate for it early on. Again, Tomato Farmer back on that Lucian. This Lucian has been the absolute biggest priority pick in the series. It has won every game that's been played in. And now we have a Nautilus to pair along it instead of the Braum or a Thresh per se.
Yeah, definitely.
I like these comps. I like both these comps personally.
Yeah.
Oh, next to the Camille. I'm not a huge fan of the Camille here, but yeah. I like Schism's comp really a lot here.
Yeah, I think both teams have quite a bit. Schism's I think is a little bit better as in terms of like a composition, like a team composition in total. Like the grand sum of its parts is probably greater. But we know what Cinco Gazer can do on the Scion. We've seen Frisian's Vigar is legendary. Tomato Farmer fantastic on this Lucian. So they have comfort champions on the side of PPC. We'll have to see what they can do with those champions, how they can compete in this team context.
Where we see Schism here is running a traditional Cloud9 comp, if anybody's been paying attention to that at all this year. They're running the Kindred Zillion combo with an Ornn top. I mean, they have a lot of engage on that team, but they have a lot of damage to back them up. It'll be interesting to see how they go. Are they going to play super aggressive in their face? I think that the 2v2 does go into the favoring of the Zillion plus Kindred, even pre-6.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to... honestly, I think the mid game is going to be the big vocal point here to see if Purple Cobras can pull this, because the amount of engage, the engage tools plus the damage that to back it up on the side of SKZ is just so good here. Not to discredit the Purple Cobras draft.
Yeah. Okay. So which team do you have taking this one in the end?
Based on the drafts alone and how we've seen these bottom lanes being so volatile, Varus is a good lane bully into this matchup. I think, as long as Backpack doesn't chain it, I think SKZ can take this out.
All right, SKZ prediction in Game 5, taking that semi-final or the final spot away from the second seed PPC. We'll have to see what happens in this Game 5. We'll get right into it, but first, we'll hear a word from our sponsors. Don't touch that browser, and we'll be right back.
My name is Tim Borseth, and I own and operate Games XP in Decorah, Iowa. Games XP is a geek paradise. We carry everything from Pong and Atari all the way to Xbox One and PS4, and all the games that would go with those consoles as well. We also carry a ton of movies. We have handheld games. We have Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon. We have D&D and Pathfinder. We carry Warhammer 40K. We have a vintage Star Wars selection. This place is great. My wife and I have had 6 kids, and they are so much fun to work with here at the store. They run the store as much as I do.
And we now repair cell phones, game consoles, computers, and small electronics.
Our store is instant fun. Not only is there cool music and cool stuff to look at, but we have a game room that is so much fun. It's free to play, and you just plug in your game system and enjoy life. The Game XP motto is bringing joy to people's lives through our products, people, and a place to play. So you have got to come to Decorah, Iowa and check out Games XP and experience this geek gaming paradise.
Hello everybody and welcome back to this Game 5 semifinals matchup between Schism and PPC. We get to see PPC on this blue side and Schism on the red side. What are you thinking in this game? We've made the prediction. Schism's going to win. Where do you let's see. Who are they going to win off the back of? What player are we looking for in this one on the side of Schism?
Well, the big thing to point out here is No Excuse got his Kindred. This has been banned every game throughout the series. You can see him doing a little bit of BM in the mid lane right now. He's really hyped a bit able to play this pick. It's his best pick by far, that is for sure. And they just have an overall, I think they have an overall better comp. So I think as long as he's able to get, say, 3 marks by the 15-minute mark, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah.
If they're able to deny him marks early, which they shouldn't be able to because they have the superior 2v2.
Yeah.
I think that's top side though. The Scion has the pushing match. So, assuming he's able to start contesting Raptors, you know, the camp that Camille has a hard time clearing, I think they're going to be okay. This is not a bad matchup for Kindred by any means.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to see how that one plays out. We do see double Doran shields coming out of this bot lane. Both ADCs wanting more of that protection from the other one because of how much battling they've done in this bot lane all series.
So we see Kindred starting on the top side, pathing down towards the bottom side. I'm guessing they're going straight. Oh, Camille's also going for the Scuttle Crab. We can see a level 2 fight here. That Kindred, they both have red buffs. Oh, he's going to Wolves.
He's going to Wolves. I think he wanted to stall out and see where his mark would spawn. It does look like it spawned in that bottom side river. So fortunately, it hasn't.
It's top side.
Oh, it's top side. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Well, he can at least get his mark. But Camille doing her best to try and get that Scuttle Crab on the bot side. We'll have to see. She's going right for mid lane. Already pinged it out. Already did all of that.
On there.
And nothing.
He did get the flash of the Zillion.
Yeah.
This is a very weird pathing out of the Kindred. Red Wolves to other buff. Not even bothering with the Scuttle Crabs.
The hook lands onto TJ. Taking a couple autos from Desolate Earth, but not tons of damage. But, you know, little chips here and there can really make an impact. As you were saying, though, yeah, the weird pathing from Kindred is somewhat of a mystery so far.
They gave Camille both Scuttle Crabs early on. That is huge. So how Kindred's passive works here is her first mark will only spawn on Scuttle Crabs. It will not spawn in the enemy jungle until she has 1 mark. Of course, she can get that first mark off a champion as well, but he's
great hook onto TJ again. I don't think it'll come of anything. Backpack just taking a little bit more damage. Yeah, keep going.
Really good trade coming out of the bottom lane for Purple Cobras. We had a big trade going top lane. Tanks are fighting. Having a
little beef balls. Yeah, good trade on the Cinco. From the side of the Orin. The Orin can take good trades.
Of course, the Kindred can get her first mark off a kill as long as she kills the mark target. But of course, it's easy to get that first mark off a Scuttle Crab, which she straight up surrendered this game.
Yeah.
That's horrendous.
Can you use it to track pathing? So, for example, her mark should now go onto the Raptors so long as the Camille doesn't take it fast enough.
Currently, the Kindred has 0 marks, so it'll spawn on the next Scuttle Crab regardless.
So on the next Scuttle Crab. Okay, so always spawn on the next.
And remember, post changes, only 1 Scuttle Crab spawns at a time. So you will always know where the Kindred is attempting to path, and with that, you are able to plan accordingly and shut her down. That is how you play again on the Kindred early on. You need pushing, as long as you have the pushing side lanes and such.
Yeah, definitely a rough one to deal with for the Kindred, missing that, not only that first match, but also both of the Scuttle Crabs, very valuable. We saw both top, oh no, we only saw Goose Daddy. He backed and he teleported back to lane now. You know, full corrupting pot, full everything, so.
So we do see the Scuttle Crab will be spawning on the bottom side. With Camille having no camps down, she could go, like, look at the vision already in the bottom of the river. They're already prepped to defend that Scuttle Crab away from it.
Yeah.
But we do see a healthier bottom lane out of the SKZ.
Goose Daddy just trying to prevent some of the aggression here, and Kindred on this top side. Gonna back and try to get to that bot side for that Scuttle Crab. Camille's gonna back here, and Kindred got the back off first, so she's gonna actually be the first one to this Scuttle Crab, even with that vision, so long as neither lane is getting completely pushed in, which, no from Desolate Earth means I think this Kindred can get her first mark.
I think because of Scuttle Timer, they'll get there around the same time.
Okay.
Or at least the Scuttle will be res.
Oh no, Kindred, don't go for Wolves! No!
She could have got away with it too.
Yeah, I think she would have already been on it. I don't know if she would have taken it fast enough. Certainly the Camille.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, they're going to compete for... Oh, they do have the pushing bottom lane, so TJ and Backpack are able to roam up and help their jungler.
Version backed.
Oh, no. No! Lane
They're not playing around that well at all.
No. Wait, did Friction get it?
Yeah, Friction got it.
Yeah, Friction smited it away. Still no marks to the Kindred. That's a shame.
Covering for the poor macro decision there out of his team. And still denying the Kindred.
Yeah.
Could see a possible kill here on the top side.
Bad end of a trade here. Sion is hunting down. The Flash not going to get him out of the range of that. My Flashy, oh! Q breaks his shield. Can't use the W. Oh my goodness. What a play from Goose Daddy to prevent his own death there.
Yeah, and the Bellows breath, it comes up big. This is a dark seal on the side of the ult.
I don't even...
It's a stain, I guess.
It's been a while, so you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he has AP scalings on anything significant.
It's not significant, no. I think it's mainly for sustain.
Yeah, it's definitely what it's for. Still, I mean, that's still a weird choice to spend 350 gold on a Dark Seal immediately in the game, rather than just, you know, saving up, trying to get that Catalyst a little bit earlier. But
yeah, he would have his Catalyst done now if he didn't.
Yeah.
But it is Sion.
Yeah. We'll have to see if that, you know, makes a significant impact in the laning phase.
See the bottom lane's returning. Still without a mark, this Kindred is not in a good spot right now. It is going Blood Razor, though.
Yeah.
Which would have been even worse for them if they didn't.
Yeah, also down in CS, in fact... Okay, so they're bottom side of the map. You know, Zillion and the Varus are both up in farm. But right now, the Camille and the Sion are both up in farm on the opposite.
Down the Scuttle Crab and 2 creeps. From
yeah.
Currently. Which will be the Scuttle that was smited away. We now see him going top side. Could be potentially looking for the Sion, but it's a hard lane to gank.
Yeah, especially now that he has vision, gonna be able to see the Kindred as soon as she passes that corner. The ult comes out. He is out of mana though, so not gonna be able to help him too much here. Sion's just gonna ult out.
Don't think he even needed to.
Yeah.
Ornn was Zoom, but respected a Synchro Gazer.
And now also giving again priority on that Scuttle Crab. That's 4 straight for this team. They're gonna get Dragon priority too. They're just losing everything in terms of the jungle to PPC right now because of this Kindred pick.
This is definitely not a very good start for the side of SKZ.
Yeah, there's Stevenator getting caught up by the box. I'm actually going to take most damage. In fact, probably going to trade more onto Frisian than he traded onto him. Still, I mean, I don't know. These mid laners both, you know, they want to sit, they want to scale for a little while. Zillion a little bit more supportive, but definitely scales pretty well with itemization. So both of these guys willing to sit in lane and not kill each other. Jugglers.
Camille will be the target because it's the mark.
Yeah.
Or not.
Yeah, Frisian has no mana right now. I'm going to be slowed by the buffs. Yeah, nothing yet there. That seemed really over-aggressive by Friction to try to go for that, you know, stun onto the ult of the Zillion. Like, he's able to survive that even if you do get that kill, so.
We should be seeing a bit more action coming here shortly, as Camille is getting towards her Tiamat, where she's going to be able to just get rid of every camp on the map and be able to be in every lane at once. That's a big thing with just kind of
face.
Still kind of confused why into a melee matchup he's taking, you know, Guardian plus Coin. I guess it's just his preference overall. Doesn't like Area plus Spell Thieves.
Yeah,
lose it on gold.
I can say with complete honesty, I honestly think that Guardian is almost always a better choice on him. And as for the Coin debate, it like in a melee matchup it's rough, but like somebody like Nautilus and Lucian can have a pushing wave, and it's harder to hit your abilities in that like pushing sense.
The thing about Aerie with Rakan, specific, is because when you go to shield somebody, you give them the Aerie shield, right? At the same time, you can pass back through your Aerie and immediately have it back up and ready to be used again on the next target, including the same target, which ends up being a bigger shield than what Guardian can give. But of course, Guardian is better for personal survivability.
Yeah, personal survivability plus the fact that it gives the movement speed to both people, and that's also a very important thing. You know, boosted ADCs can't actually move if they don't have movement speed, so giving them the movement speed to move gives them no excuse not to, you know, kite around a fight.
I personally prefer the Airy, and I think it is a better choice.
Both are very, very good choices. And it certainly depends on matchups, and this is one where obviously that would be very expected. These top laners just pounding on each other. Neither one of them has any damage though, so it doesn't amount to much.
They both have HP. Oh, Vagar's here.
Here we go. We see Frisian here. He popped his ultimate. Goose Daddy is going to be saved by No Excuse, and now it's No Excuse going to run down these two if he can. No, he's going to use his ultimate, protect his top laner, and then he's going to leave.
He should be on that mark in the river already. We're calling his bot lane to be careful.
We go dive into the bot lane. We're diving right onto TJ. TJ is going to go down here, it looks like. Yeah, probably a death onto Desolate Earth. Nautilus, who flashes out from under tower, not going to die there. Backpack, not going to die either. A 1-for-1 trade. That kill going over to Camille and traded back onto the Rakan.
And Kindred has now gained her first mark and returned to the 1-for-1 in the bottom lane.
Yay, first mark. Hooray.
Mm-hmm.
Also goes for that Blood Razor. We do see. Okay, you're a Kindred expert. You told this to us just a little bit ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what is the difference between the Blood Razor Kindred and the Warrior Kindred, and why do you do one versus the other?
You only ever do Warrior when one, you're snowballing super, super hard, or when it's a full squishy.
Okay.
Because with Warrior, otherwise, your AD ratios on your Q, ever since the changes to, you know, rework again, just is not worth going, because Q is not your main damage source, your auto attacks are.
Okay.
And with Blood Razor plus Bork plus Black Cleaver plus 8 marks, I think it is, you have 2.5 attack speed.
Okay. You also have stacking attack speed from utilizing your keys over and over. We see aggression into the mid lane.
It's with the Q calculated.
Onto them. We'll have to see. Nope. Yeah, Goose Daddy gonna finish his TP, but that's not gonna end up meaning much. Desolate Earth up here to try to protect his jungler and his mid laner. Try to get them better back timings here.
But yes, the 2.5 is calculating in the Q. Yeah.
Okay, so the Q stacking attack speed with everything is 2.5. Okay. So you would never want to like sell your Blood Razor for when you get to that point?
At that point, you sell Warrior. Because
you sell Warrior and you go Blood Razor.
Later on in games when you go Warrior, when it gets late game, you always go Blood Razor because Warrior is an efficient early game item.
Yeah.
But Blood Razor is a % health. It's Blither and King, but cheaper.
Yeah.
Stacked with Blither and King.
Okay. Ooh, nice grab onto the Rakan, but the E's could get him away. Tomato Farmer uses that ultimate, not actually going to get much damage. That Guardian Shield coupled with the E and the Rakan passive means that neither one of them takes damage outside of SKZ. This has been a relatively tame game compared to what we've seen through most of the other ones. Just 2 kills. Yeah, now the Rakan going to take quite a bit of damage. Going to ult out, or at least try. Ultimate goes on to Desolate Earth, and that's going to be a dead Nautilus right then and there. Goose Daddy getting the ultimate onto the Scion. He's also going to get W'd, clapped, Q'd. Going to get knocked up again. The Ornn Pain Train of abilities. He's going to put so much damage on a Cinco, but he's so tanky, it just doesn't matter.
We do see just the pure wave prior. Oh, gets caged a little bit, but just he's going to win this trade because double bomb.
The auto attacks from him too, yeah, just putting so much damage on the
kill him here. One bomb is a kill here.
Yeah, one bomb is a very easy kill here. We'll have to see. It's very hard to land those bombs, especially against a GLP, Glacial Augment Vigar. But it takes one misstep and Frisian could die in this mid lane. He has to be very respectful of this.
He has flash.
Million.
I messed it.
Oh, lands one. I don't think it's enough to actually kill him. Yeah, that has to be close, though. I'm gonna take a look. Yeah, he had plenty. So
beforehand, that bomb was not enough either when we pointed it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
He had 250 then.
Alright, now we see the Kindred going for this drag control. Has only the 1 mark still. You really want to hit that 4 mark. That's when the attack speed gets the bonus.
And range.
Yeah, and that's on range on
range. And after that, it's every 2 marks afterwards you get an attack.
Definitely want to hit that mark as early as possible still. small advantage on the side of SKZ, but really pretty even. Seems like a calm before what will be a massive mid-game. Oh my goodness, Desolate Earth with a max range Q doesn't really mean much in the grand scheme of things. Still impressive to see him hit that kind of hook.
This is greedy of Kindred to go for, but at this point in time, you think she might have to. They see her on the ward.
Backing on the ward. Yeah, Frisian not actually going to try to disrupt out of fear that there's somebody else there to help them engage.
Maybe they didn't. Oh, they didn't see her on the ward. They have a red ward there. I don't know what those pings were then.
They were pinging it out. They're pinging constantly. I guess maybe just respect from the side of Frisian to try to not face check.
She could have possibly been there, I suppose.
Friction currently has the Rift Herald as well, so he can easily drop that just about anywhere. Kindred pathing towards top side here, and Cinco is on the wrong side of the lane. See if Kindred's going to actually go up to that top side. The dropping Rift Herald bot lane, yeah, no excuse, is up here with the Kindred pick. He's going to disrupt that. That should be a dead Scion, but this bot lane going massively in the favor of PPC. They have that Rift Herald, they brought down that first tower. And now the Frisian, with that great hook by Desolate Earth, gonna pop TJ, and Tomato Farmer gets that kill. Cinco Gazer gets out in the end. Wow.
Wow. He was dead by rights.
Impressive by PPC to just give nothing in that case. Huge bomb by Stevenator. Frisian actually locked in place. The Ignite's gonna go down. Oh! And then a barrier's gonna go up. Frisian probably not gonna die. Just be careful of the bomb there. Yeah, okay, good. Doesn't die to the Zillion bomb by accident either.
What we're currently looking at is getting into a mid-game spike for the Cobras. This is where they can try and push and end this game out before we start seeing the online Kindred Varus combos with the massive frontline. Once we start seeing that, I think that the Cobras just get run over in fights. So if this goes past, like, say 30 minutes, Schism definitely has the advantage.
Yeah, absolutely.
But until
I think magic damage also really on the side of on Schism, because I think the Zillion, with this particular Vygar build, at least until the very late stages of the game when he's stacked really highly, the Zillion will actually pump out more damage so long as he's able to hit those double bombs.
That's what it seems. We do have another mark here getting taken away with the Kindred. This Kindred should be at 2 marks now. She is currently still at 1 mark.
Oh my goodness.
That feels bad.
It does. You really want to see multiple. At this point, you should probably be on 3, maybe even 4 marks if you're the Kindred. Should have got that first, mark, or at least attempted for it. Second potentially as well.
That first pathing really hindered them.
It did. Put her behind at least to pretty significant value. Also hasn't really gotten value out of these ganks so far. Only has the 1 assist to show for the multiple ganks that she's put off. So nothing really impressive. Backpack trying to get vision. Tomato Farmer competing for it.
Just gonna see the wave clearing going back and forth. We do see the lane swap start to already get initiated. They the side of Schism pre-swap to make sure they could match them in time and not immediately lose the top. But we could just as easily see the Camille come back around and force us down like she did in bottom side.
Yeah, Ornn was really late on that lane swap, so quite a few minions have gone down to the tower, plus all of that damage put on by Cinco Gazer in this on this Scion. It's pretty
This was
scary.
including a Herald charge, though.
Yeah, oh, that's true. I forgot about that. A Herald charge did. I don't think at full health, but definitely at least half of that turret's health was gone because of the Herald.
Yeah.
Again, we see some, big meaty tanks just trying to push at each other.
Just kind of clearing out the vision, making sure that Kindred's gonna have a hard time walking into her own jungle.
Ooh. Desolate Earth's hooks are mean in this one. Oh, Tomato Farmer walking forward, and a great engage from Backpack secures a kill on Tomato Farmer. Desolate Earth now has to run for his life. He's probably not going to get out of this. Flashes away. CBS to do that. Goose Daddy and CK on the spot side. Jumping back up to the top lane, and Desolate Earth was able to walk out. Kindred coming down now. The ultimate comes out. You can be able to heal both. Friction, they're going to try to Friction.
Runs out.
You'll be able to. Cinco Gazer. Taking the double bomb, that's going to be a kill.
Unlucky that they weren't able to get the Camille there, but oh my god, Goose, what are you doing? Almost killed himself.
Yeah, that was a close one. Still, pressure gained on this top side by TJ and Backpack by getting that trade kill on Dilution. They're going to get a tower here. Great job by those two, able to generate their own gold.
The fact that they're able to get back that after the punish on the Lucian, just it's so big that Varus is able to get this back into it.
Earth is back. Yeah, he's going to try and slow these two down. Might drop his ultimate. Yeah, doesn't have his ultimate, unfortunately. Could have turned that into a big play for these two. A return of kills and maybe even a top tower. But that ultimate not up. Not able to help out his ADC here.
I'm surprised we haven't seen a forced top with Camille yet. This tower is just so low.
Oh, they caught backpack. He's going to W over the wall, but Tomato Farmer flashes to secure the kill. Bloodthirsty Tomato Farmer.
You got the shutdown of Rakan. That's really big for the Lucian here. Wait to the mid. Also, something to point out. This is a Phantom Dancer Lucian. Or Rapid Fire Cannon. But I'm going to say Phantom Dancer here.
Okay, interesting pickup. We do see Goose Daddy getting surrounded here. He's good. He hasn't been CC'd once yet. Still has quite a bit of damage dropped on him. Gonna finally take that Cyan Key. Synchrogazer is gonna get the kill onto him.
The flash coming up in just a few seconds just was not enough time for it. Need another 15 or so on it.
What a phenomenal job.
This is bomb due to him. That bomb goes through the shield and then a bit, so that's not bad. That's a Scorched Zillion and not a Gathering Storm Zillion. I don't agree with that, but...
Yeah, I don't know about that either.
With your win condition.
Oh, the hook by Desolate Earth. You're able to get that backpack with that re-engage onto the backline. See him get out there. Yeah, trade kill onto Desolate Earth, and now Synchrogazer under fire here. The box is dropped from Frisian, so the GLP dropped as well. Stevenator tanks the ultimate, but he has his ult on him, so no kill dropped over yet. Friction went down.
That's a Kindred mark.
He's back to full health. Frisian getting chased off by Goose Daddy here. Yeah, so much damage being popped on. Tomato Farmer trying to make it all happen himself, but that was a really bad decision. He goes down to TJ. Yeah, now only three left to defend this tower here. That's 2 towers lost just in this last exchange alone. A big swing of gold, now 2,500 gold lead. First significant gold lead we'd have for either team all game.
Now Kindred gets the mark kill on Camille, and then she's gonna get this one too. I think it's fair to say she's officially in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Finishing that first, almost finishing the Black Cleaver, having that finished Blood Razor really makes her mobile. The Qs and the Phage procs just make her so hard to catch. You see maybe engage onto Ornn. Maybe engage onto the Ornn here. Probably gonna go down eventually. Yeah, definitely going down. Friction's gonna pick that one up. Able to at least trade something back as PPC. Right now, the advantage is still massively now on the side of SKZ after these fighting.
After that, we just see looks like we're going to start getting a Baron Dance. Remember, this is 2 Mountain Drakes for the side of Purple Cobras. They can force this, and they can do it relatively fast.
Yeah, especially with that Camille and the Lucian. Both of them do pretty massive damage to these objectives with their autos and their multiple ways to do it. On the opposite side, though, we do have the the Rageblade Varus. We have the Blood Razor Kindred. PBC just commit this topside push, and nothing really traded so far on the side of Schism. We see the Zillion pushing in a bot wave here. Probably going to have to rejoin the team in the teleport.
All the reliable wave clears hitting the bot side tower right now. I mean, Varus can.
Here comes the engagement onto the side of onto PVC. It's Backpack's able to pick up the kill on a Friction. Now Synchrogazer gets his ult canceled. Frisian drops his ultimate and actually misses, hits the wrong target with it. He's gonna have to live probably with death. He's gonna die now. Stevenator auto. Yeah, great TP from Stevenator getting into this fight. Backpack stays alive because of a missed ultimate from Frisian, and now PPC on the back foot. Probably gonna lose Baron here. Double bomb onto Desolate Earth. He's not going to take the damage to die, but now Goose Daddy is going to be able to chase down Tomato Farmer, and that bomb is going to kill him. Now they can turn right onto Baron, hand-delivered to the side of SKZ by PBC.
That was just disrespect towards Schism. They stayed on their tower with 1 minion, knowing that Varus was there with his ultimate, not having the information on the Ornn, and just knowing that Zillion had teleport available to him. It's disrespect to stay on that tower with 1 minion alive.
Yeah. And another fantastic engagement by Backpack. He's been really great on this Rakan pick all season, and that's kind of culminated into this big play that they just had. Schism with phenomenal plays here in this game.
Just stealing away the Krugs. I think he got the big one now.
Alright.
So be another Mountain Drake coming up shortly. Another marking denied from the Kindred by the Vanguard this time.
Alright. What's going on with builds? Let's see. He did go Rapid Fire Cannon mission. So we went Bork into Rapid Fire Cannon. That seems like a lot of attack speed.
Bork and ours.
Yeah, Bork
That's
and Rapid
interesting.
Fire.
It's not a Black Cleaver. Second.
Certainly.
That's my problem with it. I guess he's scared of getting instantly Varus bound, so he went Rapid Fire Cannon second.
Yeah.
I thought it might have been PD because he was going in second. But if he's going RFC second, I think you just commit to the Black Cleaver and side lane.
Yeah. I don't really like the PD on him though, especially in a game like this where there isn't really a diver. Like if you were on the other side, if it were Lucian on the side of SKZ and you have that Camille, then like yeah, I would say Phantom Dancer is not a bad pickup.
I wasn't saying it was like the best buy in the world. I'm just saying that the fact that he went second was really odd. Yeah,
that is a really awkward decision. I don't know. I favored more of the I forget which ADC does it, but they build what is it? Stormrazor first on Lucian, and that is my favorite build in anything ever. Great engagement from Friction. Drops the ultimate onto TJ. The TJ gonna have that ult bot from him, but he's gonna trade onto Friction so far. Goose Daddy doing a little bit of damage. Yeah, with that Zillion ultimate, they were able to prevent a trade of kills. They were just able to get their own there. Okay, both side laners stunned there. Over the wall is Backpack, who also gets stunned up, but TJ gets another kill. TJ is popping off in this one. 2 kills in the last fight alone. Now we see Tomato Farmer trying to get work done on this. Friction actually gets a kill onto the Zillion. He didn't have his ultimate available. That's a trade kill. Backpack gets a Frisian.
I think that might be it.
Yeah, that's probably just going to be the game right there. Huge knockup. Yeah, Kindred throwing the ultimate down, just going to try to burn down the team towers as best they can. Desolate Earth and Tomato Farmer are doing the best here. Oh, not getting rid of TJ. No excuse. Gonna be able to big kill onto Desolate Earth. They don't have a tank anymore. Now Tomato Farmer is dueling with No Excuse. We'll have to see who wins this one. That's pretty big. No Excuse wins this, and he's gonna chase down Camille. And this should be the Friction keeping the life alive for PPC. That Nexus is the only thing left standing out of the mid lane right now.
Wow. With that being said, with this reset, it's a lot of gold to spend for the side of the SKZ. They all were backing with roughly around 2,000 gold.
Yeah, absolutely.
1,500.
Yeah, a couple of huge gold leads here. Yeah, somewhere in the realm of like 2,000 for the ADC, somewhere in the realm of like 1,500 right now. 1,900 for the mid lane. There's so much gold advantage on the side of SKZ. It's difficult to see them losing now that they've broken the entire base of PPC.
Honestly, with the lack of wave clear coming out of Cobras here, I think you just run 5 down bot with supers empowered mid with we'll say Ornn, super empowering mid because he can reach bottom with his ultimate, or TP.
Well, they can walk
just force down through mid.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna path towards this mountain drake. TJ is gonna pick up his red. He's gonna pick up the enemy blue. Yeah, this is big. They're just prepping these final last little things for a final push so that they can win the game here.
I think just Baron and Power the midway. They're going top side actually with 2 people because they know they can't answer the dragon.
Just pushing top side, maybe rendezvous towards that bottom side when they get the chance, but we'll have to see.
I suppose they wanted to preset the wave, but I don't think they even needed to come up there. They just 4-man bot or 5-man, honestly.
Yeah, but now the entire team of PPC is towards this top side, and Ornn, Kindred, and Varus are alone on this bottom side of the map on that tower. They're just going to give this for free.
Tower is going down. They're just slow bleeding.
Yeah, this is bad. So how do they stem this bleeding? How does PPC prevent themselves
from... They find a pick. They have to find a pick with Zillion's not there. Zillion is currently not there. If they were in position here, they needed to pull a trigger. They needed to find a pick here on either the Varus, the Kindred, somebody. Yeah. Or else this game is just gone. But this Varus is at his power spike. This Kindred is at its power spike.
Oh! Tomato Farmer throws that ultimate down. Goose Daddy trying to get something here. Don't know what is he doing. That's 2 wasted ults from both sides already. We see the Zillion bomb drop. Single gazer half health right now.
Didn't commit your own forced ult.
My goodness. No hook from Desolate Earth's gonna hit. Yeah, these double bombs are really coming in clutch at the sieging location. Frisian, it's a big GLP. Not only gonna be able to catch up the Ornn with the box though, so kind of a shame there. If you would have caught one other person, maybe would have been able to drop some major damage.
Arch's Glory.
Yeah, Ornn just running into the middle of the team. Able to do much here. They're in open territory right here. Multiple members of PBC have gone down already. You see the ult drop from the Kindred. Not going to be able to kill Cinco here. Killed right now, and that's going to probably be the end of the game. Schism's going to upset PPC, and they're going to go to the finals.
And all the props to Schism here. They played the long series. They had a couple rough games, but they were able to bounce back. They didn't tilt their way out of the tournament. And here they are going to the finals.
Yeah, coming in against the second seed could not have been an easy proposition for them, but they were still able to make it happen. They bent PPC to their will in multiple games, and they walk away with the W and with the finals appearance. Oh, what a series.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a long one.
It certainly was. Now we get to talk about who we think the MVP of the series was. You can definitely do a little bit more of this than I can.
Oh, wow. Over this full series for Schism, who do I think their absolute rock was going through it?
Now, yeah, I can tell you I can tell you who I think it would be, but I want to hear what you think because yours is definitely more heavily weighted than mine. Who would your MVP of the series be?
Well, game one, we had an absolute slaughter for Purple Cobras. They absolutely took it to them. They took the 1-game advantage.
Mm-hmm.
They had a strong bounce back in game 2. On the back of Tomato Farmer. Game 3 was kind of the same story. Honestly, I think Tomato Farmer is the MVP. He was to rock the whole series.
On PPC?
Oh, right. Sorry. Other way around. Other name.
Oh,
Other
you
names.
think...
I don't have it in front of me anymore.
I don't have him on here either. I want to find him.
Sorry, what I meant to say was Teach.
Teach. You think Teach was the...
I think Teach was an absolute rock throughout the entire series. He never really was getting slaughtered in any of the... and was able to come back and just straight up carry games going into towards the end of the series.
Okay. If I had my 2 cents, I would I'd make a case for Backpack. In the same kind of vein that him and TJ seemed like the
My problem with Backpack is early on with the first couple of games,
he was
really struggling.
Okay.
He was getting caught. He was getting caught out a lot.
Okay. So yeah, we'll talk about TJ. Is there anybody else we could consider?
You always,
not that anyone on either team played bad. I would easily give this to anybody on either team. But
if it's not Teach, I would always bring up Stevenator.
Stevenator
was a solid in every.
Yeah, he was a rock out of the mid lane. I would agree with that. I think I have to agree with you. I think Teach was really the guy that I saw. Him and Backpack were my definitely two of the people that I saw making advantages for themselves. So I would agree with Teach in this one. Hey, what's up, Teach?
What's
Hey,
up?
Teach, how are you doing?
Good, you?
Pretty good. Pretty long and drawn out series. How are you feeling after that?
Pretty happy since we came out with the upset.
Awesome to hear. So, with that, going into that last game, after Cobras just brought the game back after game 4, what was the mentality going into that last game?
Yeah, it wasn't looking that good, especially since we didn't have good engages bot lane, and we misplayed the lane pretty badly. So it wasn't looking that good, but in the game we weren't our mindsets weren't that good. I feel like when we were losing, but once we got into the next game, everybody buckled down and focused on what we needed to do to win that next.
All right, good to hear. And why do you think Lucian was such a high priority pick going through the series?
I feel like it was because basically whoever had Lucian in that lane had the priority and could bully the other person in the lane.
Okay. Is there any other questions you might have here, Gribble?
Sure. You did make mention that this was an upset. What was your team mentality coming into this series, knowing that you're going against a team that would be considered a favorite over yours?
I feel like we just focused on what we had to do, and we listened to our new coach Ace, who's really good at picking us drafts, so we don't have to focus on that, and we can just focus like on what our picks and what we need to.
Impressive. Yeah, definitely saw some of the effects in that drafting phase. How do you feel now, you know, beating PPC, and you're not sure who your opponent is yet, but how do you feel coming into finals? Are you confident that you are the best team in the league right now?
I don't know much about, since I recently joined the league, I don't know much about the other teams, but I think if everybody shows up on the team, I think we're definitely the best.
Good to hear.
Awesome. And do you have a prediction for the White Lotus NFG series?
No F's given.
No, they're
Really?
actually
NFG.
just NFG now, unfortunately.
Oh, just NFG. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay, that's good to hear. Well, it's nice to talk to you. Neat.
Yeah, you have any shout outs for us?
No. I guess. To Goose. Wait, to Goose. Goose carried us.
The Goose carried, yeah.
It's just that people weren't too happy with him not being MVP, so
Yeah.
it's okay. Let Twitch chat be salty. It's nothing more unusual. But with that, thanks for coming in for the interview, man, and we hope you have a great night, and we'll see you at the finals.
Thank you.
Well, that's going to be it for us here tonight. That was a really exciting series in the semifinal, and we still have 2 series to settle. The final semifinal game, and then we also have the finals between either NFG or White Lotus, and now Schism. So definitely keep watching. It's a great time, and we're so excited that the end of the season is coming up on us. Yeah, stick around. I'm Rebel Fox. I'm signing off. Trick.
Thank you very much for everybody coming out tonight. We hope you enjoyed the series as much as we did, and have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow with this other semi.